and welcome to day 3 of the Big 12 Madden Summer Challenge. I'm Bill Pollock, and I'll bring along my host from West Virginia here in just a moment, Tony Caridi. But just to kind of set the scene, we have 6 schools that have already had their finals. We've got 6 people locked in, but there's a lot on the line tonight. 4 finals. We'll pick 4 more winners, and then there's some wild card spots that need to be determined for this field of 16 for the Big 12 tournament that will begin this weekend on Saturday. So let me bring in Tony Caridi. He will be the voice tonight of this great Madden final for West Virginia. And of course, you hear him on the radio broadcast for West Virginia Mountaineer Sports. Tony, good to see you.
Bill, it is my pleasure. Very much looking forward to this. This has been a lot of fun in the preparation mode. Earlier today, you and I had the opportunity to chat with our 2 contestants that are going to battle here in just a second to become the champion for West Virginia University to advance on into Saturday's Sweet 16. So very much 2 guys that were enjoyable to talk to, and 2 guys that have a wealth of experience. They've got more than 30 years combined playing experience on Madden, so this should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll get to the contestants here in just a moment, the gamers, but we'll give you the breakdown of this 5-minute quarters, all Madden level, no injuries. So you're going to see a good, clean game. And we've seen a lot of Kansas City Chiefs. I won't spoil it for the evening because we've got 4 games, the 4 schools, West Virginia, TCU, Texas, and Texas Tech. We're not going to see a lot of Chiefs this evening, so we'll get a nice variety. But Tony, do you want to talk about the gamers that we have representing West Virginia in this final?
Absolutely. Representing WVU is a gentleman by the name of Quinn Cuskey. He will play as Bolts 1206. He's a kid, well, not a kid, he's a young man that has been playing Madden now for 14 years. He advanced on, had a very close game in his opening round. He scored on a touchdown, a 60-yard bomb on his final possession to win his opening game. Then he had some relatively close games to advance on to the championship. On the other side, we've got Drew Casa. His team is Drew House 44. He said coming into this tournament, I have no idea how I was going to do. He got an opening round bye, and then you can see had a victory over Potomac State, and then a victory last night advances him on. And so 2 guys that are very, very excited to be playing this. And Bill, I know you're excited since it's almost dinner time with this reminder that tonight's broadcast is being brought to us in part by your favorite, Papa John's Pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, and we're looking forward to this.
If I could slip a couple of pieces in, I would do it tonight. Absolutely, yeah, without a doubt. So great for having them on. Thank you, Papa John's, for sponsoring. And you talked about experience with these guys, and they have some contrasting styles. And one guy seems really intense. The other one says, "Hey, it's great to be representing my school." And of course, there's some wild card spots open, and we'll talk about that later on throughout this broadcast. So he's saying, hey, look, even if I get in the wild card, that would be great too. So some different strategies and different approaches to this game.
Yeah, there absolutely are, and you could see what they're playing for. $1,000 is the prize pool. This starts off with 16 teams is what we'll have when we start the Sweet 16 on Saturday. Each of the 10 Big 12 schools will have an individual champion, and then, as you said, we will have 6 wild card entries. And what's interesting there is those wild card entries are going to be determined by the total number of points that they score. And Bill, looking back to last night's results, you had a lot of defense last night. You had 3 games that were played last evening, and all 3 of the losing teams only scored 6 points. Will we have more offense this evening? What do you say we find out right now? It's Kansas City and the Seattle Seahawks, and this is Drew House 44 with the opening kickoff. As you can see, an absolutely gorgeous day in Seattle. The field is dry and it is quick, and the Seahawks will take off with Russell Wilson at quarterback. And talking to Quinn Cuskey, he said, why Seattle? He said, well, a couple of things here. Number one, I absolutely love Russell Wilson as a person, and I love Russell Wilson as my quarterback. And what's also interesting, Bill, as you remember, he said, although Wilson does have the ability to leave the pocket, oftentimes that's not what he likes to do. He will make calls at the line of scrimmage and really wants to put it into the breadbasket. On the opening play, you see Chris Carson with a successful run. Bill, did you find it interesting that Quinn Cuskey's philosophy here is he's going to basically stay the entire game with just 2 formations out of one of those sets? As he goes to Carson again, he's got 5 plays. Out of the other formation, he's got 4 plays. That's it. That's all he's going to do, and he's going to determine his play call based upon how that defense lines up.
Yeah, he's not going to show much to try to confuse the defense. And he said, look, a lot of gamers do that. What was interesting, he says, I think I do it really well, though. So he's got a lot of confidence in his abilities. So he said, look, yeah, I'm going to keep rolling with it. It's been working.
Well, he stayed on the ground so far. Now 2nd down and 7 out of the 46 and a passing opportunity. And this is Wilson, and he will keep it despite the fact that he said he doesn't like to run him a whole lot. A successful run for Russell Wilson picks up a 1st down for the Seahawks. As we said earlier on, these are 5-minute quarters. The game will move very, very quickly. This time out of the conventional I formation, and Carson getting a lot of work early. And as we said earlier on, Bill, he's basically coming to the line, and he's got options here to take a look at what that defense is doing. And so far as you can see that box, he sees a running box.
Yeah, and he said he doesn't like to run with Wilson. He says occasionally you'll see him roll out. If he does, and he does it multiple times, if you see him doing it 2-3 times in a row, the defense is causing problems for him, and he's not sure how to get out of it. So keep an eye on that as you're watching this tonight. If you see Russell Wilson running a lot, then we've got some issues on the offensive side here for Bolts.
Opening drive of the game, and the Seahawks are moving inside Kansas City territory as Russell Wilson is taken down to the turf. The very first sack of the evening. Chris Jones, 3rd-year pro out of Mississippi, makes the sack. It's a 4-yard loss now, 2nd down and 14. Wilson into a crowd, and the pass is intercepted. He picked him off. Great defensive play by the Chiefs. And Kansas City will take over. He got the stop. They gave up the field position initially, and the interception is recorded. And it will be a nice one-hand pick there, Bill.
That was great. And he threw him to double coverage. Maybe a bad read there. Great opportunity here for the Chiefs early because their defense is not that strong. It's all offense with the Chiefs.
And our first look at Patrick Mahomes, who Big 12 Conference fans saw in his formative days at Texas Tech, in a quick gapping run, a 1st down carry on the play. Damian Williams, the 5th-year pro out of Oklahoma, who's got 90 rating speed, picks up a chunk, and it's 1st down and 10. We're inside of 90 seconds now in our opening quarter. Staying on the ground once again, and it is Williams, this time defensively. Nice stop by the Seahawks front line. This is also an interesting point, Bill. When we were talking earlier with Bolts 1206 man, Quinn Cuskey, how aggressive is he on defense? He said, I will get sacks all game long. This time, Mahomes' late throw, and the pass is caught. Hauled in there as we go inside of a minute to play.
Said he's going to bring 7, 8, sometimes 9 guys on the blitz. There was one game he had 19 sacks for the entire game. So Bolts will bring the heat.
And in that same game, obviously the opposing team had negative rush yardage. Backside, there he is, exactly what we talked about. He loves to bring that nickel corner on a blitz. That is his favorite play call right there, and that time it was successful. And if you are scoring at home, that defensive formation is big dime 146, base cover 2, where the corner comes off the edge. It's 4th down and 12, and they're showing to go with 9 seconds and counting here in our opening quarter.
Interesting from this
using Wagner as his user linebacker. And he's just going to let that clock run down.
Yeah.
So we go scoreless in our opening quarter. A turnover on Seattle's opening possession. And now Kansas City will, on the start of this second quarter, go into punt formation. 14-year pro, Dustin Colquitt. And the always dangerous Tyler Lockett spins from one defender and picks up a couple of yards. Well, if you're a WVU fan, a West Virginia University fan, whenever you see Tyler Lockett on a kick return or a punt return, you get nervous. He returned not 1 but 2 against West Virginia in his playing days at Kansas State. Second drive for Seattle begins as the game started. Into the belly of Chris Carson, and he'll pick up 5 on the play, the tackle. Once again, secured after the 5-yard gain. Once again, it's Carson. And this time, he'll churn ahead for the first down. This is really interesting, Bill. When we talked earlier today with Quinn Kuski, the lead man for Bolts 1206, he said, I'll take whatever they give me. And so right now, he has been pounding it on the ground. And obviously, the one time he did try to go deep downfield, he threw the pick. Into the air he goes this time. Crossing route. And that ball gets knocked away and then picked back up. And they will call that as a catch and a fumble. And Kansas City has recovered 2 consecutive turnovers by the Seahawks. And Kansas City and Pat Mahomes have a golden opportunity here. Williams in the backfield.
The city. Yeah, Tony, that's odd because the linebackers with the Chiefs on this game, not very good. And now 2 turnovers, an interception, a fumble recovery.
Well, the way things are going now, you would think that he's going to stay on the ground, right? He's thrown 2 interceptions here. Here's Mahomes again, and the connection is made as we go inside of 3 minutes in our opening quarter of play. This time, Kelsey lined up to the right of the formation. He's been quiet so far, and he has the pass intended for him, intercepted, and running downfield. Bobby Wagner, that's a user interception. And Pete Carroll's Seahawks take the lead, 6-0. So, Bill, you've done games over the last 2 nights. Have you seen so many interceptions so early?
No, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And what's funny about this, too, is, Wagner's one of the best linebackers, but then Mahomes, as the user, he just kind of let him go by. It's like, yeah, you can see Mahomes kind of like, forget it. I'm not even going to try to chase this guy. I think he forgot he had the user.
I think so. Wagner's got a 99 rating when it comes to play identification. I think he identified that one. They knew where they were going to Kelsey. So now, different scenario. For the first time, Kansas City takes the ball over, and they are trailing 7-0. Neither team has done anything of substance so far offensively as Hill makes the catch. The winner of this game advances on to Saturday's Sweet 16 of this inaugural Madden Summer Tournament here in the Big 12 Conference. This is the first of 4 games to be played tonight. Wide open, and the pass is caught. And once again, he goes down to Tyreek Hill. And Kansas City will be inside Seahawks territory. And the game comes to a momentary stop for our 2-minute warning. Interception, pick 6 return by Bobby Wagner, our only points of the game so far. Mahomes going for it all, downfield, and the pass is caught. It's a touchdown. Beautiful strike is thrown. It's a touchdown for the Chiefs, and we've got ourselves a ball game as he connects with Hardman.
Tony,
Patrick
on the
Mahomes.
last 2 pass plays, Drew House has done a great job of picking up the blitz. He was able to throw through that cover 2, found Hill open, and then took the deep shot with Hardman, who's very fast in this game. But the key here is he's picking up the blitz and giving Mahomes time to throw the ball. That's a key because, as we know, Bolts likes to bring that pressure. And if he can't get the pressure, Mahomes is going to chew him up.
Absolutely. We also saw on display there, Bill, the 96 throw power from Pat Mahomes. He laid that ball out there absolutely beautifully. So now in a 7-all tie, Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Downfield, wide open, pass is caught, and this is Disley, and he will take the ball into Kansas City territory. Nice drive opening pass and run for the Seahawks. Scrimmaging from the 44-yard line. Plenty of time. Tough window to throw that ball into, and it is broken up. Nice defensive play by Chris Jones of the Chiefs.
Yeah, dropped him in the coverage.
Wilson, straight up the field. He'll slide down near the first down marker. So a turnover-filled early start to this game, and now both of these teams starting to get some rhythm, so to speak, offensively. Nice play fake. All kinds of time. Wilson surveying, great coverage downfield, finds a man. It's Tyler Lockett, and that'll take it down to the 20-yard line as we close in now on 1 minute to go in our opening half. Out of the split back shotgun formation. Once again, all kinds of time for Wilson. Late throw into the end zone, and that is caught. Touchdown. Disley. That's one of his favorite targets. And once again, you saw it all that time from Russell Wilson, his super strength and agility and that throw power. And we've got ourselves a 14-7 Seattle lead. First offensive touchdown of the half for the Seahawks.
And Bolts said he doesn't like to roll out with Wilson, but if you roll out and you buy some time, that front coverage will come after the quarterback, and it leaves a hole open, and that's why he was able to get the ball to his tight end. Had a nice opening there. It's getting lots of time to throw.
Absolutely dangerous. Tyreek Hill tight ropes down the sideline, and now with 31 seconds to go, Kansas City immediately puts itself in position to get some points here in this 14-7 game. 98 speed and acceleration from Tyreek Hill, and he showed it to us there.
A great balance.
Damian Williams in the backfield. Boy, if Kansas City could get some points here, it would be absolutely huge. And here's Williams trying to do his part as he closes in toward the 20-yard line. Time is taken, freezing the clock at 25 seconds to go. Long count this time by Mahomes. And he changes the play at the line. Finds a hole for Damian Williams. Well read defensively. Very, very nicely done.
Switch to users to come over to make the stop.
Yeah, that used up just 4 seconds. So Kansas City takes its second of 3 timeouts. They'll have 1 remaining here. Mahomes toward the end zone. Has a man. Pass. Caught. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown. Kansas City. And folks, we've got ourselves exactly what we were looking for. We've got ourselves a great one going here now. An extra point away from a tie with 18 seconds to play.
Finally, we got someone with the Chiefs who can score some touchdowns. We were kind of in a drought with the Chiefs yesterday in day 2 of this Madden Summer Challenge here in the Big 12. But right now we're getting some offense after a sloppy start. Now we're seeing some big points put up, big plays. It's turning into an interesting game.
It really is. Well done there as he threw inside of that corner and the safety who came over. And they'll take the knee here. And in all likelihood, we'll see how they play this out with 18 seconds to go. Seahawks do have 2 timeouts remaining. Any magic here for Russell Wilson? We've been seeing this split back shotgun. Disley, who scored the touchdown a few moments ago, came over in motion. Wilson stops late, throws deep, and that pass is caught by Metcalf. We've got a flag down, though, on the play. Take a look.
Yeah, against Seattle.
It'll wave it off. So that used up 9 seconds, and 9 seconds and counting now. Wilson sets, throws, and that pass is broken up, and he'll rule him out of bounds.
Well, that penalty really hurt because they could have gotten at least a field goal out of that and had the lead. So now we got a tie game going into the third quarter, tied at 14.
Absolutely.
Big points.
Exactly what we were hoping for. And you kind of got the sense when we talked to these two young men here earlier today that they were going to put together a good game. In other words, uh, as I said early on, these kids have played a combined 30 plus years in this game. They know exactly what to do, and they're displaying it here. Despite the shaky start with a couple of picks, things have developed very nicely in a strong run by Damian Williams, and that'll be a first down carry. Tonight's games being brought to us here in part by Papa John's Pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. From the 36-yard line. Once again, it's Williams. They'll take it up and over the 40-yard line. 6-yard pickup on that play for Williams.
Yeah, he's getting almost 7 yards a carry. Keep feeding him.
Mahomes, all kinds of time, and that time he's just going to throw a good coverage downfield by the Seahawks.
Smart play by Drew House there. Just get rid of the football. Sometimes guys like to take chances, and that's when you get in trouble. It was just smart play. Throw it away and take your chance on third down.
There's a big play early on in this third quarter on 3rd down and 4. The pass is picked off. It's intercepted. And on the way and scoring the second pick 6 of the game for the Seattle Seahawks. How about that? Seattle takes the lead. Wagner earlier with the interception return, and now another score for Seattle, and they take the lead here at 20-14, pending the extra point.
I jinxed him because I said, hey, it was a smart play because he threw it away on 2nd down. I think he felt he could thread the needle. And when you have Mahomes, yeah, I mean, absolutely, you think you can make that throw and get it to Hill. But that was a great interception. So I don't think that was a bad pass decision. I think it was just a great defensive play by Seattle. And 2 pick 6, that's crazy.
You know, when we talked with Quinn Kuski from Bolts 1206 earlier today, what did he say? He said, I'm going to be unbelievably aggressive on defense. I'm going to charge. We said earlier he had 19 sacks in one of the games leading up to tonight's game, and he comes out there and now has picked off 2. Had the user interception, and now he comes up with the pick by Shaquille Griffin, and as a result of that, puts himself up pending the extra point. Obviously, we've lost the feed for right now. Pending the extra point, they go up by a score of 21-14.
Yeah, and he talked about using Griffin as well. He'd like to use Wagner and Griffin, and he felt that he could come up with an interception. I think he even said, I think I can come up with an interception tonight with Griffin. So that came to play. One of the things that really I caught from these kids is they're playing for pride for their school. There's a lot of school pride from these kids, and that seems to be the case with Mountaineer fans, just from what I've been able to pick up in my year of doing Big 12 this week. And there's a lot of school pride there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. And both of these young men are from out of state, but as you said, they both come to WV, and they said they've absolutely fallen in love with being a Mountaineer. We return to action now, and Damian Williams gets a big pop as he takes it over the 40-yard line. 21-14 is our score. That extra point was good. And now 3 minutes, 12 seconds in our third quarter. The winner advances on to Saturday's Sweet 16 round of this inaugural Madden Summer Challenge. Drew House, 44, wants to go into coaching. He's an athletic coaching major here at West Virginia University. And the future coach that time, once again, puts it into the breadbasket of Damian Williams. Every possession here, this is great, becomes more and more important for this Kansas City offense. And Mahomes looking to get it all back, and that play down the sideline for Hill. Take a look. They're going to rule it incomplete. Foot out.
Good call by the computer there. Hey, there's sometimes on here. I don't know if I agree with their challenge calls on this thing. So looked like it was on the
Hey,
mark that time.
hey, Bill, you know who's been real quiet is Travis Kelce once again going down that far sideline, and this time Tyreek Hill inbounds makes the catch. It'll be a first down for the Chiefs. You remember they went to Kelce early in the game. It resulted in the Wagner interception. He's been unbelievably quiet. Do they go back to Travis Kelce at some point here?
If he doesn't have his first option open with Hill, he's had some opportunities to get it to Hill. So keep doing that.
Williams,
Oh,
nicely run.
yeah.
Gets close to the 10-yard line.
So run with Williams. Keep going to Hill because that's your first option. And then if you need to look to Kelce, that's a great check down to go to. That's a safe play most of the time. Didn't happen early, though.
So this becomes massively important now. Wide open in the end zone. It is there. Touchdown to Tyreek Hill. Answering right back, the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes, the former Red Raider of Texas Tech, to Hill, the Cowboy from Oklahoma State, and now an extra point away from a tie at 21. Got
when
it.
we talked with Drew House, he says, "Hey, even if I make the wild card, I'll be happy with that." And with 21 points, I mean that puts him second right
Yeah.
now of what would be 7 teams or 7 players to get into that wild card spot. So very good position here. He's looking in great shape with 21 points, even if he
The,
would lose this game.
the most points scored so far by a player who has lost a game was 32. So as you said, 21 puts him into the second spot there. Had 3 people score just 6 points. All right, so now can Seattle answer back? And Carson on the carry picks up a couple of yards. Now it gets really interesting as we head toward the final minute of our third quarter. And perhaps, Bill, for the rest of the way, it's who doesn't turn it over might be the team that wins this thing. Carson, nice gallop for the first down run. 44 seconds, now down in 34, 33, and 32 as we play our final seconds here of this third quarter. And again, they go to Carson, and again, he's got running room close to another Seattle first down.
Tony, I want to clarify because I keep talking about Drew House and just wanting to make the wild card. I just want to clarify. He took the Chiefs because he wanted to get points so that if he lost, he'd have a good chance of the wild card. I'm not saying he's playing for the wild card. He wants to win the game. I just want to clarify that for people watching us. I'm not selling Drew House short here at all. So
Not at all.
so, yeah.
On second down and 2, Marshawn Lynch got a carry, and he picks up the first down. So Seattle from the 49-yard line, staying on the ground. Carson gets the ball back, and he gets near the 45-yard line. We're into our final quarter of play in a 21-all tie. And nearly broken up, and a nice pass hauled in that time. Good clock management here now by Seattle. This is something we need to kind of break down, right? We're into the final 4 minutes and 15 seconds, 21-all tie. Yes, Seattle wants to score, but they've been content with running the football, as Carson's carry will take the clock inside of 4 minutes to go.
There's still time, but yes. And what I'm surprised about, too, though, is Bolts was talking about rotating all 3 backs, but he's been going with Carson. He's been having a great game, getting a lot of yards with Carson.
Nice interior blocking. Right up the middle he goes again as he takes the ball down to the 26-yard line.
Keep doing it.
Out of that I formation, this time Kansas City's defense prepared for the run by Carson, and he'll gain 3 yards.
So the run didn't work. I'd expect a pass here. Now you should come with a blitz because you got to think he's going to pass. He's run too many times in a row and made a liar out of it.
Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City again waiting that time for Carson, and now we've got ourselves a big boy play. 3rd down and 9, 2 minutes, 35 seconds to go in a tied game at 21. Wilson has field. Wilson has the first down. He'll slide inside the 15. One point here now. We saw Chris Carson run a whole lot as the 2-minute warning comes up. Stamina level. Bill on Carson down. So perhaps we'll see someone else here. And Carson, no lack of stamina here, will take it inside the 5. It'll be 1st down and goal.
Like new beast mode.
The 2-minute, we lost the feed there, unfortunately. 2-minute warning came up, and that was a good 2-minute warning for Chris Carson. Gave him a little bit more juice. They went right back inside to him, and he takes that ball down inside the 5-yard line.
I wish I could see that play over again, because it almost looked like he could have tried to truck his way into the end zone. It almost looked like he tried to bring him down to stop him short so he could pull down to the ball. I'd like to see that. I don't know if my eyes were playing tricks with me or not, but I thought, he's going to plow right in. But it looked like he kind of pulled up and stopped.
Yeah, that would be the height of strategy, wouldn't it? If you had a player go down, that would be the ultimate strategy play right there.
Yeah, maybe I'm
folks,
thinking.
Like you, we are waiting to get the resumption of the game as we go down inside this final 2 minutes of play. It was a 21-all tie. Seattle, who's coached by Quinn Cuskey, who is a senior broadcast journalism student at West Virginia University, goes under the handle of Bolts 1206. And we have just been informed that Seattle has scored. It was a field goal. They had to settle for the field goal. So that would make it 24-21 now. Seattle on top of Kansas City. And play now has resumed, as you can see. I'm sorry, let me correct myself. It was the touchdown they got. It was not a field goal, 28-21. And so Seattle up 7, and now Kansas City with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go, looking for a big-time play on the ground. Great defensive play is made. There's that aggressive defense we've been talking about. 2nd down and 13. And inside this time, the pass is there on a quick little slant. Brings up the 1st down, but clock now at 57 seconds. Chiefs do have 2 of their 3 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, with just under a minute to go, while on the plus side of the field, that's plenty of time. Plenty of time in this game.
Mahomes changing the play. Just how aggressive will this Seattle defense be here on 1st down and 10 from the 45-yard line of the Seahawks? Mahomes, far sideline, Hill there, out of bounds, stops the clock at 53 seconds, and here come the Chiefs.
It was a dangerous pass, too. That was tight coverage. He had Kelsey open over the middle, but went for Hill again.
From the 34-yard line. And again, have not gone to Kelsey since they had an errant play in the 1st quarter. Down the sideline, the pass is caught. Inside the 10-yard line, it is hauled in, and that'll be 1st down and goal. That was Sammy Watkins down that sideline. Mahomes going for the score, broken up nicely in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, that's a dangerous pass, too. Those get picked off quite a bit in the end zone like that. Well, at least they have when I throw them, so.
24 seconds remaining. 2nd down and goal. Chiefs need the touchdown and the extra point to tie. Mahomes to the 5. End zone. Touchdown. He got it. So here we go. Extra point. Ties. 2-point conversion. Well, you could take the lead if you want, Bill, with 18 seconds to go.
Well, we had this situation when Iowa State played in the first night, and same thing here, going for the win. I love it.
2-point conversion. Mahomes. And he is hit, and he is stopped. Tackled on the play. Conversion no good. That was Griffin that got him And Seattle with a 1-point lead now, the onside kick attempt by the Chiefs. And it is fielded by the Seahawks. Kansas City does have 2 timeouts remaining. Seattle has 17 seconds away from earning a victory here in what has been a fantastic game.
Well, Drew House went for the glory. I don't fault him. It's a video game. Why not? He's got 27 points. He's probably a lock for a wild card. Yeah, you got to go for the win.
I think it's a great point. So Wilson takes the knee, and they're not going to take the timeout. You make a great point. So in a losing effort, Drew House 44 is going to finish up with 27 points, and Quinn Kuski and Bolts 12:06 has led Seattle to the victory. 28-27 the final. A dejected Andy Reid heads over. Bill, you've done several of these games over the last 3 nights. Was that the best one?
This one is right up there with the Iowa State when they had the Chiefs on Chiefs action, and that one was 33-32. But this one was a little more because we had so many interceptions and mistakes, but still a lot of points. So this one was a pretty entertaining game. That's a great way to start the night. I mean, if this is a precursor of what's to come, this is going to be outstanding for our final 3 games of the night. And we still have the finals from TCU, Texas, and Texas Tech. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That was fantastic. Take a look at some of the highlights from the game. As Bill alluded earlier, we had a lot of interception activity. We had 2 Seattle scores coming off of pick sixes. So that was a lot of fun. And, a couple of guys like Lockett and Kelsey, who you would think would play bigger roles in this game, didn't. A lot of Chris Carson, right? A lot of Tyreek Hill. Obviously, they're not as you see the Carson interception, they're certainly quality players, but we thought that perhaps you'd see more of those guys involved, but it was a lot of Tyreek Hill. And what a great job of running the ball. They established the run from the beginning, Seattle did, and ultimately that was the key to this game for them. Time of possession swung over to their side.
Yeah, pretty strong running, too, from Damian Williams. In fact, they might have been able to feed him the ball a little bit more. It was a good job.
Well, I tell you what, Bill, I'm delighted to hear that the winning participant, Quinn Kuski, Bolts 12:06 head man, joins us right now. Quinn, congratulations. You're on your way to Saturday's Sweet 16. Hey, man.
I'm excited, and I got to say, Drew was one heck of a game. I mean, 27-28. He's probably going to be a wild card with that, so maybe we play again.
Tell me what you were thinking about early in that game with those interceptions. What was going on there?
Well, the first pick, he was sitting in a cover 4 drop show 2, so I knew his outside corner was in a deep blue zone, and the out route would beat it, but he took it away himself with his user. It was a really good play. All props to him. He read what I was doing and jumped it. And then the second one, I threw it to Disley over the middle. It was the right read, and he made a big hit with his linebacker, knocked out a fumble. But while, I was turning the ball over, when I forced him to turn it over, I was taking it to the end zone.
Yeah, that's true.
Quinn, let me ask you this. You had talked about you didn't like to run a lot with Wilson, but you were rolling out quite a bit. Was that just because he was doing an outstanding job defensively? Were there some things that weren't open that you typically look for in a game?
I mean, the base defense that he was running, it's a really tough, just stock play to beat in Madden. And I knew that I could kind of open up more holes in his zone by rolling out, and he wasn't setting a QB spy. So I was able, once I rolled out, if I noticed that I had, 15, 20 yards of grass, sometimes even 7 or 8, I'm not going to pass up on free yards.
So what's next? I mean, what do you do now? How do you prepare for a tournament like this? Do you practice on your days off? I mean, give us a little run through of what you kind of go through, or do you just wing it? Whatever happens.
I've been running. I mean, like I said, in our little pregame interview, I only run 9 total plays. The plays out of the gun split close formation, I've been running those same plays for 5 years. They've been working every year for 5 years, so I know them well. I know what to read based on the defensive look I get. You saw the one right at the end of the half where I motioned the tight end all the way over to the left, and I hit Metcalf. It was the play that I wanted, but I made a boneheaded play and jumped across the line of scrimmage before I released the ball, and wound up giving him kind of let him stay in the game because I knew he got ball to start the second half. So I didn't, I wanted to at least have the lead going into halftime, and that penalty took it away.
So this is awesome, man. To be quite honest with you, it's the first time I've had any involvement with broadcasting one of these games. I am taken aback by the level of aptitude that you have of this game. And as I said earlier on, you've been playing this game since age 7, and
Yeah,
it's a testimony.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went to go buy a Madden game, my parents were like, "Oh, you like football, but sports video games are hard." And here we are now. So, all these years later.
Well, congratulations. It's a great day to be a Mountaineer, man. Congratulations.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
see you on Saturday.
All right, see you Saturday.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, what a cool kid, huh? Yeah, that's pretty good. Outstanding. All right, well, Tony, boy, you got us started, man. That was a great first game for the first of 4. It's going to be a long night, and that was exciting stuff. That was really good. So I think both kids from West Virginia are going to be playing on Saturday.
Yeah, I think so. I enjoyed it, buddy. Look forward to working with you again on Saturday. And you've got a busy night coming up, right? We've got TCU, we've got Texas, and we've got Texas Tech still to come. What was interesting there, we had a lot of points scored, obviously, in that game, 27 by the losing side. Last night, the losing teams scored 6, 6, and 6. And offense has been tough to come by. Taking a look at the overall scores, we've had 4 teams score 30 or more points among the games that have already been played, and there have been 6 games already played. But it's been more defensive than offensive so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Well, we've got TCU coming up. We'll take a short break. We'll change some things around, get our players set for our second of 4 tonight here on the Big 12 Madden Summer Challenge. Stick around. We're coming right back. And here we are, game 2 of 4 tonight on the Big 12 Madden Summer Challenge. And we go to TCU, a couple of really good gamers who are big into Madden. They've had a lot of success, and they will try to get to Saturday. And we've got a couple of interesting teams, a couple of interesting fellows, and an interesting co-host. Brian Estridge is joining me here for game 2. Brian, nice to see you. We've got some good guys here, some different teams finally. It's not Chiefs on Chiefs, no Ravens. We've got something a little bit different tonight. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say Ravens. I don't know. I was kind of left hanging with one of our competitors. Yeah, go ahead.
We are going to see the Ravens tonight, Bill. Yeah, we're going to see the Ravens. We're going to see the Packers. All right, so we got two pretty solid defenses going at it as well, and that's been the story so far of this tournament. A lot of defense has been played, so it's been hard for folks to get points. Sebastian Carrillo is going to be playing as the Baltimore Ravens tonight. And then you're also going to have Ethan McAdams. He'll be leading the way for the Packers. All right, so the two team names, I love them too. Frog Bucks versus Max Duggan for Heisman. You got to like that already. So it's this is going to be fun. I think these two guys are evenly matched. You could tell they've had a little conversation maybe on the side. Maybe they've played a little bit on the side before because you get, TCU, a smaller campus. There's not as many folks on campus playing Madden. I think there's an opportunity here for these two teams to battle it out because they're going to know a lot about each other.
All right, that's interesting. Now, Ethan McAdams, the Duggan for Heisman, going with the Packers. There's a strong personal tie to that. His family has ownership in the. Now that's what he told me, that they have ownership. Packers now, because that's a team that's owned by the public, and so they've got some shares in the Packers. So he's got a lot of personal tie to it. So his grandfather may boot him out of the will if he loses tonight. I'm not sure what'll happen. So
yeah,
a lot
apparently
of pressure,
a lot of pressure. Yes, a lot of pressure may be the understatement. Here's how we got here to these two, Frog Bucks versus Duggan for Heisman, and you can see they had to work their way in to this finals, and now all of a sudden you've got an incoming freshman in Duggan for Heisman and Ethan McAdams taking on Sebastian Carrillo, who's a fifth-year player and a fifth-year student at TCU, I should say, an economics major. He's also a member of the Horned Frog Band. So, Bill, this is going to be two guys going at it. You kind of got the old versus the new. You got the Ravens versus the Packers. As you said, it's personal for Ethan McAdams and the Packers. This is going to be fun tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know if you saw last night, but we had a Packers team, and the defense was just absolutely dominating, and they just shut down the Chiefs. And then, of course, you've got Aaron Rodgers, and anytime you have Rodgers, he can make plays. He can do things that you don't think he can do, and he does the same thing in this game. So 5-minute quarters, all Madden level, and, of course, no injuries. So, look at them. I think Rodgers could lose his leg. I mean, that guy has played banged up in his career, just an incredible run that he has had. I'm talking about the real guy now, not the Madden quarterback.
Let's get to the game because I think we got a chance here when you have a young player in Ethan, you've got a veteran in Sebastian as far as their time at TCU. You kind of have the same thing as far as the quarterbacks are concerned. Aaron Rodgers, as you talked about, the veteran. Lamar Jackson for the Ravens. A younger player who's dynamic. We're going to see these aren't going to parallel each other very much. These are going to be two different teams going at it. I'm ready to get started, Bill.
What I'll be interested to see is I've watched as we kind of studied and got ready for this. This is our first go around with these games, Brian. I was watching a lot of online stuff, and a lot of people run Lamar Jackson a lot. I haven't seen that much from the users that have taken Baltimore in our format. So it'll be interesting to see how Sebastian does that tonight with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. Frog Bucks going to go at it here against the youngster and Ethan McAdams, Duggan for Heisman going at it. So you're going to see the Packers kicking off to start this. By the way, I'm a little worried about you, Bill. I'm going to already say that you spend a bunch of time watching these videos online. We really need to get you a hobby. I'm going to send you some tomato plants if you don't mind. Maybe you can have that as a hobby from here on out. What do you think?
All right, yeah, that'll be fine. I don't have much of a green thumb, though.
Yeah, we'll see what we can come out with. All right, here we go. Duggan for Heisman kicking this one off to Frog Bucks. All right, the Ravens bringing it out of the end zone, right up the middle they go. And decent field position to start this drive off, just across the 20-yard line at about the 23. All right, when we Sebastian earlier in the week, one of the things that he talked about, Bill, was the fact that, hey, he wants to try to get Lamar Jackson out on the edge. He wants to use his dynamic playmaking ability on offense, but he doesn't, as you've seen with several different players, these guys don't run a ton of different plays, do they? They'll stick to the playbook pretty strong.
Yeah, and if you can audible out of it, change some hot routes, why complicate things for you? Because you're going to look at different defenses and the way that guys attack. Do what you're comfortable with, and then make those adjustments, and things will turn out for you. In that last game, we just saw West Virginia, stuck with the same plans, but faced a defense that was difficult, but he kept going at it, kept grinding, and things worked out. So, yeah, don't complicate it too much when you're on the offensive side. I think that's a key to this game.
All right, Jackson here out of the shotgun. He'll work. He's got one back behind him. It is second down now, 2nd down and 9, and we'll see Lamar Jackson throw it for the first time underneath. It is caught here and turning up close to first down yardage already. Finding the tight end on the crossing route. And it's going to be just shy. So 3rd down and 1, and already the big decision time coming up for Frog Bucks here. 3rd down and 1. Do you keep it on the ground? He'd like to do that, but you also have the flexibility with Lamar Jackson. Do you try to get him out on the edge? On 3rd down and 1, give him the run-pass option. Live here in Baltimore today on a beautiful day.
Yeah, you could take a shot here with a pass, perhaps. I mean, empty backfield.
Here he is sprinting out to the left-hand side, and Jackson's going to get the first down as no one's going to catch him running to the edge. And already the Raven offense, you can see how important he is to this offense. 1st down and 10 now. As we work in this opening quarter, 3:49, it's the opening drive of the game.
I think if Duggan is faced with a lot of 3rd and shorts that he's got to make stops on defense, it's going to be a long day for him, because I don't know how you stop Lamar Jackson on short yardage plays like that.
Yeah, too much flexibility. This time underneath, finds his running back, and he's going to turn it up. Out of the backfield, Ingram takes it here. Solid gain as Jackson with time in the pocket as well, and no one covering that back out of the backfield, at least closely, gets it across the 45-yard line. 2nd and 1, it's a pickup of 9 on the play there. Another look at it, and now Jackson's going to go 5 wide. A little empty set here. We've got a down to play with on 2nd down and 1. Let's see if that shot you talked about earlier, Bill, comes on here. Good time. Jackson now rolling to his right. And again, out of the backfield, the grab is made, and that's Ingram hauling it in. Actually, Ingram was in the slot that time, I should say. Hauls that one in for the first down. A little flood route there. You had 3 receivers on that side of the field. Jackson rolled to that side, and just simply not enough defenders there.
Nope, and once you roll out with those quarterbacks, I mentioned it in the first game too, that does open up, because those defenders will start coming at that quarterback. And it takes a little bit of timing, but if you wait and you're patient, those receivers will get open.
Yeah, this opening drive, obviously, for the Ravens going right according to plan. 1st down and 10. Hand off to Ingram this time. Not much doing there. So when they've tried to keep it on the ground, the Packers' defense has been solid for Duggan for Heisman. And now you got a 2nd down and long upcoming. Baltimore on the Packers' end of the field. 2nd down and 11 here for the 32-yard line. Jackson may be changing the play. Ingram in the backfield is going to release. And Jackson this time tucks it, runs it up the middle. 30, down to the 25-yard line, finds the edge. He takes it close to the 20, where he's bounced out of bounds there. And Jackson, I'll tell you what, when he gets to the edge, he's going to find his way to the sideline. You're not going to get contact on him.
I think that was Adams on the defensive line. They had him as a spy, and Jackson just ran past him anyway. Good defense, just not fast enough.
Yeah, 1st and 10, keep it on the ground again. And once again, negative yardage on this rushing attack for the Ravens. Frog Bucks continues to go to it, though. Just trying to get Ingram some sort of rhythm here in the run game. No scores. We work down to a minute 35 to play in this opening quarter. Again, Ingram in the backfield. Jackson to throw it this time. Lamar with time, throws it in coverage, and it's incomplete. Knocked away. He threw that one into a tight space, and he gets away with it. That one should have been picked off, it looked like.
Yeah, that's a big break for him. That was right in the hands. If you're quick enough, you can flip to that and make that your user, and you can come up with those interceptions. But it takes some skill. A little easier to do in Madden 20 than in the past, but it's still a tough play to make.
Big third down play here. Duggan for Heisman. The Packers defense trying to hold Baltimore out of the end zone. Here's Jackson out of the shotgun on third down and 13. Slides up in the pocket and again in traffic, and this time it is picked off. Martinez comes up with it. Ingram's in chase, and Martinez is going to take it across midfield and somehow scoots away from a lineman, sprints down the left-hand side, and a shoestring tackle made inside the 15 at about the 13-yard line. Jackson could not get away with it twice. Trying to squeeze it in there. The linebacker steps in front and then races down the sideline.
And that time he had Martinez. He was the user the whole time, and that's why he came up with the pick.
We get to see Aaron Rodgers offensively for the first time. Minute 13 to play here in the opening quarter. They'll keep it on the ground to open things up and right up the middle with the carry. Throws Aaron Jones. Not much doing there. Jones going to take it down to about the 9-yard line. That's going to bring up second down and 6 after the gain of 4. Rodgers will climb under center. And again, Jones this time. Big block on the edge. Turns it up. What a cut inside the 5 and finds the end zone for the score. Aaron Jones here after the handoff from Rodgers, able to take it in for the score. And just like that, Green Bay makes Baltimore pay for the early turnover.
What was that celebration dance? I'm not sure what that was there. It looked like a little like giddy up there. I don't know. Maybe that's like a little Texas flair there or something. I'm not sure.
I'm going to say it almost looked like you on Friday nights at Billy Bob's in Fort Worth, man. Yeah, here's the point after. And that one sails wide left. That looked like you on the golf course, Bill. I mean, golly. He just hooks that one.
You put him right at the
6-0 right now, Packers.
I've never seen that one before.
And a high kick here. Ravens going to bring it out one more time right up the middle. Looking for a little bit of help and not much doing there on the return for Hill. They'll get it to about the 25-yard line. 6-0 right now. Green Bay leading it here over Baltimore. So Duggan for Heisman takes advantage of the turnover by Lamar Jackson with the interception. And the early score for the Packers, there's the veteran too, Aaron Rodgers. You can just see calming presence out there after the turnover, able to turn around, hand it off to Aaron Jones, and they get the score to take the early lead.
The thing that I've kind of picked up on, and I don't know if people that are watching this, gamers that are watching this, but to me, Baltimore, great defense, great running ability. I don't know if Jackson is the guy that I want throwing the football, though. I just haven't seen a lot of success when Jackson has to throw the football. Maybe wrong later tonight, but I just haven't seen it so far.
It does feel like he's better when he's in that run-pass option. When he's on the edge, when you've got to account for him as a runner, it does tend to free up a guy in the throwing game. But here, this time they'll just run the little reverse, trying to just spread the field. Now it's second down and 4 here. Tight set to the left, bunch to the left. The Ravens and Jackson under center this time. Little toss sweep to Ingram. Nice pursuit by the Packers. And that run game has just not been there. The Packers are going to force the Ravens to beat them here today, throwing the football behind that arm of Jackson that you said you don't trust at this point.
I haven't seen it yet in this tournament. Maybe I'll be proven wrong.
That's going to do it for that first quarter of play. 6-0. Green Bay taking advantage. Duggan for Heisman's group on defense with the interception set up the score. And so the second quarter play we go. And Jackson again flushed out of the pocket, slide forward to the 27-yard line. Nice job there defensively by the Packers as well. And, give that defensive backfield credit. They had everyone covered downfield. Jackson had nowhere to go. And the Ravens forced to punt it for the first time on the day. Taken just inside the 5-yard line. Irvin across the 40. Nice run there as he gets it up close to midfield, and the Packers with decent field position again. So Aaron Rodgers, who took advantage of the previous interception on the short field, able to keep it on the ground for the score, comes back out here, and we'll start this second drive offensively for the Packers in great field position. So let's see what Ethan McAdams and the folks at Duggan for Heisman decide to do here with Aaron Rodgers. in the backfield, and it's knocked down. Nice play there by the middle linebacker, able to slap that one away. Rogers trying to squeeze it in, and it'll bring him second down and 10.
Kind of a nonchalant swat at the ball there. Not a lot of effort there by that Baltimore Raven. Just kind of threw the arm up and knocked it away. Let's see a little better
Second
effort
down.
there.
Yes. 3 receivers to the left-hand side now. Rogers, deep ball down the middle of the field, double coverage, and it's intercepted. That's been the story of this tournament, Bill. We have seen interception after interception, guys trying to force it into tight spots. Aaron Rodgers does it again there.
Yeah, just trying to make something here. Take a shot downfield. Didn't work now. You got them backed up at the 2, so let's see what the Packers defense can do. They've been doing pretty well here through the first quarter and 1 minute.
So this Packers group with that 6-0 lead right now on the Ravens. We work here in the second quarter. Let's see if they tee off after Jackson this time. And how much will the Ravens trust Lamar Jackson, the quarterback, throwing the football deep in their own territory? They will here on 2nd and 11. And it's incomplete. Again, good coverage downfield by the Packers. And so now 3rd down and long for the Ravens. And virtually no run game to speak of here for Baltimore. And this Packers defense now can play coverage and keep everybody in front of them. They're going to get the ball back here again with great field position.
Again, they've got Adams as the spy on Jackson to stop him from running, but
Ingram releases out of the backfield in coverage, and another interception here. Packers are going to come up with a pick inside the 20-yard line. They'll spot it at the 17. Great field position for Green Bay. And Aaron Rodgers, as once again Lamar Jackson turns it over here for Baltimore.
Second interception using Martinez. He had it, lost it, looked like he bobbled it and got the ball back. This is huge for the Packers. They could, they probably have to go for 2, try to go up by 14. A great chance here to jump up big.
Rodgers in the corner of the end zone is going to fire it complete for the score. The grab is made in the corner of the end zone, and just like that, the Packers start to open it up here. As Aaron Rodgers, if you give him that much time, he's going to find the open receiver. Does here for Green Bay, and they go up 12-0 on Baltimore.
That was a great pass play. He was able to get past the secondary, get deep, wide open in the corner there. Yeah, don't kick.
Go for 2 here to make it a full two-score game. Rodgers with time, back of the end zone. Nice play, knocking it down here. And the 2-point conversion will fail. But 12-0 right now, Green Bay. And the story of this one has been turnovers by Baltimore. And the Packers taking advantage of it as we have 3:36 to go here in the second.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing it again where Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball, and they're not being able to have any success with Ingram running. So the only success that they've had is having Jackson run, and that's just one-dimensional. That's not going to work. This is going to be a tough thing to try to come back from.
Yeah, Brown on the return there, not much doing. And again, starting with the field position here inside the 30-yard line. The Ravens trailing 12-0 have to get something going offensively. Ingram in the backfield behind Jackson. Jackson sends 2 receivers to the right. Going to roll to his left, and this one might have been a keeper. Now he lets go of it downfield, incomplete. He had tucked that ball under, Bill. I don't know if you noticed. It looked as if that was going to be a run all the way. Then he looked upfield, saw he had an open man, and missed 2. He had 2 guys open, 1 defender trying to cover 2, and missed both of them. 2nd and 10 now. Ingram in the backfield. Jackson takes the snap. Lamar with time now. The pocket breaks down on him, and down he goes. Big push up front, but again, give credit to that Packers defensive backfield for the coverage downfield. And I'll tell you what, here, if you're Frog Bucks, you're just trying to find something offensively that clicks for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, turnovers, and they're going backwards. Not a lot of positive yards here in this first half.
3rd and 18. Jackson in the pocket again. Steps up. Got to make a man miss. Does across the 25, 30. 35 slides to the 38-yard line. Jackson trying to provide a little spark. That's where he's most dangerous, though. We've seen the success that they've had, the little bit of success they've had, has been with Jackson running the football, flushed out of the pocket that time, grabs a first down. 1st and 10 here. Jackson again to throw it. This time dumps it underneath. It's taken by the back out of the backfield, Ingram. They tried to get the screen set up to the left. The Packers read it perfectly, and down he'll go.
Yeah, that was actually great defense for that. And then he spun Ingram out, so he kind of lost a couple of yards that way and just had to get a lot of room just get back to the line of scrimmage. I didn't like that play call. 2-minute warning now.
Yeah, as we work it here down to the 2-minute mark in this second quarter with Green Bay up 12-0 right now on Baltimore. And as we continue to recap, the story of this one has been the turnovers by the Ravens. Now starting to piece it together a little bit thanks to the feed of Lamar Jackson. 2nd down and 11 here. They'll operate from their own 38-yard line. Jackson again this time dumps it off underneath to Ingram, and not much there. Ingram has been the number one target for Jackson in this one, and that's been strictly because of the defense the Packers have been playing. They've been forcing him into this. Here's 3rd and 11. Jackson downfield, going to air it out, incomplete. That's a jump pass again, rolling to the opposite side, Bill. The right-handed quarterback's a tough throw to make across his body downfield.
Yeah, and the Ravens receivers aren't getting open. The first game we watched with West Virginia, rolling out with Mahomes or Wilson, they were getting those guys open, but it's not happening here with the Ravens. And some great defense in the secondary, and I love the way right now that Duggan is flipping back and forth between his users, and he's covering the field. And when you can do that as a user and go and help in some certain areas of the field, it makes your defense that much tougher.
First mistake of the day by the Packers. They let that punt sail over their head, didn't grab it, and now all of a sudden they're pinned back inside the 2-yard line. Keep it on the ground here to start. We'll Duggan for Heisman on the carry right up the middle that time. Aaron Jones gets just a couple. Clock has got 1:19 on it here in this second quarter. Packers dominating on the road, 12-0 right now. Williams is in at running back now for Rodgers. Operates out of the shotgun. Williams going to get the handoff up the middle on the delay. And he'll peck his way forward here to about the 23-yard line.
And it was Baltimore who took that
12-0 lead. Rodgers this time to throw it. On 1st down and 10, with time, throws it in and is knocked away, almost intercepted. A late read there by Aaron Rodgers. He didn't see the safety coming across the top who got a hand on it. And that one could have easily gone back the other way. A break there for the Packers.
Got to be careful against this Ravens secondary.
2nd down and 10. Rodgers again to throw it. Out of the backfield, Williams makes the grab. Short gain here on this one. Rodgers dumps it underneath. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 2. Down to 27 seconds to play in the quarter. They're going to put it in the hands of Rodgers. Screen set up right. Looking for that 1st down marker. They'll get it and more. They'll take it, Williams will, across the 45-yard line near midfield. Punched out of bounds with 17 seconds to left in this first half. And the ball to the 49-yard line now. Packers up 12-0 here on Baltimore.
Yeah, I think at this point you try to get a field goal. 17 seconds. You've got a couple timeouts. You may want to try to take a shot deep. You could try that again. That might work.
Tell you what, Bill, how many times have we seen Aaron Rodgers operate though late in games and be successful? He's the best at this. That 17 seconds feels like 4 minutes to him. He's got one back in. Jones standing to his right here. They'll play action to him. Rodgers to throw the football. Clock winding down to 12. Deep ball down the right-hand side. There are 2 defenders there, and it's incomplete. Knocked away. He got aggressive that time, did Aaron Rodgers, and with 9 seconds left here in this first half, you may have time for one more play to get it in field goal range, and as you said, you got a couple of timeouts in your back pocket. Let's see what Duggan for Heisman does here. He's going to go empty set, so 5 wides, and Rodgers to throw the football. If you look underneath, now the pressure comes, and how about this? When the Ravens needed it most, they get the sack, stops the clock with 4 seconds to play here in this first half, and I tell you what, Baltimore's defense and the push they got up front that time to get to Aaron Rodgers was huge.
That was a huge push, and I'm surprised that Baltimore took the timeout. I don't want the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands for one more pass. That's
Yeah, I
dangerous.
wonder. I wonder if Frog Bucks thought he was going to get the ball back after that one. Now 4 seconds left. Rodgers has one more crack at it here in the first half. He's going to throw it deep down the left-hand side. Man coverage there, and it is knocked away. And that's going to do it for the first half of play. So the Ravens regroup a bit late in that second quarter and are able to keep this one within 2 scores now, 12-0 right now. Green Bay leading it here on Baltimore at the half. But the story of this one has been the turnovers here by the Ravens. And Lamar Jackson specifically has turned it over. And, well, when you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, he's going to make you pay, and he did in that first half.
So the key now for Sebastian is get the stop defensively and then try to get back into the ring. Don't panic yet. You still have time. You're only 2 scores down. Don't panic. Try to get back into the rhythm of what you wanted to try to do, and that's run the football, get Ingram involved. So first things first, you got to come up with a stop, though. Can't give up points.
Yeah, the bad news is the Packers get the football to start this second half, and Aaron Rodgers under center this time. Dumps it off to the tight end, and he'll take it across the 25. Let's see where they spot this football. Graham's able to come up with that reception. I'll give him 6, so make it now second down and 4 upcoming here for the Packers. At the 31-yard line, Aaron Rodgers, opening drive of this second half, brings in an extra tight end, hands it off right up the middle, and Jones. Aaron Jones, not much doing there. I think he's going to come up just shy of that first down marker. Let's see. No, they give it to him. They say he got the football across the mark. So first down and 10 here now at the 36-yard line.
Oh, that was generous.
Yes. Rodgers again with the extra tight end. Play action this time to Jones, and Aaron's going to throw it in traffic over the middle, and it is incomplete. Wow, that was hard to see. There were so many defenders there. Hard to believe a purple jersey didn't come up with that one.
I think he got it. No, I think he got it.
Did he? Well, they're going to call that again. Yeah, that's why a purple jersey didn't come up with it. The Packers with a big completion there. First down and 10, handed off to Jones. Not much doing here on first down. Now the 3:39 to go here in this third quarter.
That's a big play because that was triple coverage. And for Adams to come down with that and get a first down, that's big for the Packers. I mean, that was well covered, too. That was a great defensive call for Sebastian.
Leave it up to Aaron Rodgers, right, to be able to squeeze that one in.
Mm-hmm.
3:23 left here in the third, and if you're the Ravens, you wonder what they discussed at halftime, what the adjustments were. Sebastian Carrillo, who runs the Frog Bucks team there, you know, he has had Whataburger every Friday for the past 7 years. That's what he maybe he got one at halftime. Let's see if it helped his defense. I even know what he orders here. Here's Rodgers to throw it on second down and 11, and it's caught along the sideline. That's going to be enough for a first down. Here's the order, Bill. It's like I was sitting in the back seat with you. He gets the number 25, the honey butter chicken biscuit, a jalapeno biscuit with sausage, the spicy ketchup, and a large sweet tea every Friday. They paid off here after that, downing that at halftime. Big stop there defensively. Packers try to keep it on the ground, take it inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Does the sweet tea kind of offset all of the spicy? Is that what that is? Is that kind of
yeah, you get it all in there. You don't get the benefit from the greatness of Whataburger, though. And I feel for you because of that. I'm sorry for that. Here it is now. It's 12-0. Green Bay leading it. 2:05 to play. Here in the third. Rodgers to throw the football again. Aaron flushed out, held on to it too long, and will go down back at the 40-yard line. That's just the case that you got to get rid of the football at some point, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely. But you don't make a mistake, so that's all right, too. But 3rd and 21, it's a long way to go.
Minute 38 to play here in the third. Packers up 12-0. Duggan for Heisman this time. And, he throws a pick. There's the mistake. You had to wait on it here in the Ravens defense. How many times have we seen that over the years where the defense jumpstarts this offense of Baltimore? They come up with the interception here.
That's a great play. That is huge because the Packers were moving. A couple of mistakes, bad decisions. Now, don't panic. There's still some time. Get back into your office here. Frog. I'm not going to say Frog Bucks. I got to be careful because I'm going to say Frog Butts. So,
Here's Jackson out of the shotgun, rolling to his right. He's got a man wide open across midfield. Nice move there to take it inside the 35-yard line. What a big-time throw and catch for the Ravens. They'll take it here on the run. They'll spot it at the 34, and now all of a sudden, new life for Baltimore. First down and 10. Jackson overloads the right. Ball's on that side of the field here. Jackson flushed out, rolling to his left again, looking, throws it underneath, across his body. A dangerous throw, but the catch is made. And this one will be right at the first down marker as well, of the 24-yard line. It's going to be about a yard shy. Second down and 1. Here's where you get Jackson on the edge, Bill, and try to put his feet into play here. 23 seconds to play in the third. Jackson flushed out, rolling to his right, trying to get to the marker, slides down to the 21. It should be enough. Let's see where the slide starts. He had to take it inside the 23. I think Jackson knew that, waits till the 22, goes into the slide and gets the first down here for Duggan for Heisman, or for Frog Bucks.
And you called it too, get him to the outside, so.
That's when he has been his most successful here. 12-0 right now, but all of a sudden it feels like a new ball game as we go to the fourth quarter with the momentum now behind Frog Bucks and the Baltimore Ravens. But they've got to get 2 scores and get it done quickly, see if their defense can get another stop like they did on the last drive against Aaron Rodgers and his crew.
Yeah, I'd like to see a touchdown here this quarter.
Yeah, let's see if Jackson takes his snap, rolls to his left again. Same formation we saw earlier. Jackson this time going to stay in the pocket, dumps it underneath, and it's caught to Ingram out of the backfield to about the 16. Give him 4 or 5 on that reception on the crossing route. Linebacker a little late reacting to Ingram, who was in the slot. Now they'll reverse that, flip the field here on the formation. Jackson again in the empty set. Rolling to his right. Looks, now fires it in the end zone, and it's picked off. A bad decision there by Lamar Jackson, who had running room in front of him, and bringing it out is Sullivan. He's going to take it down the left-hand sideline. And Sullivan's going to take it inside the 30 to the 20. They'll never catch him. What a mistake that time by Lamar Jackson. And it's going to make this one almost out of reach now for the Baltimore Ravens with 4:14 to go, and the Packers up 18-0.
What was that? It was like a 105-yard interception return, a pick 6. That's the backbreaker there. That's
Jackson just got greedy, did he not, Bill? I mean, he was going to, and there's another hook. Man, your 9-iron is off today, Bill.
Funny or what? What? Put it down.
But I tell you, the thing about Jackson, he just got greedy on that last play. You know, he's going to have positive yardage on the carry if he keeps it himself. But instead, his eyes got wide, saw the 2 receivers in the end zone, didn't check the defender, throws the interception and a momentum breaker there on the return here to the 28-yard line. So down 3 scores in the fourth quarter with 4:10 to go, and Frog Bucks right back out there on offense.
Ethan's got to be having some streaming issues if he's kicking those extra points down the tunnels. There's got to be something going on with his. We'll try to get him after the game here if he wins this one. We'll find out what's going on with those extra points.
I didn't know if it was a streaming issue or a hip issue. Yeah, here's Jackson to throw. First down at 10. Down 3 scores, looking downfield, and this one is caught. Nice grab there. That's a tough throw to make. Again, Jackson rolling to his left. Tough for that right-handed thrower, but able to hook up here for a first down with 4:04 to play in the fourth. Hand off right up the middle. Ingram, not much doing there. Sebastian Carrillo, 5th-year student at TCU, economics major, is a member of the Horned Frog Band. He plays the baritone there. Also plays Call of Duty and Black Ops 2, but this is his game, Madden. Been playing it since 2003. Jackson this time rolling to his right. Again, throws it across his body. It's caught at the 32-yard line by the tight end.
Can you tell me about that Whataburger menu again?
Yes. You like that, man? The order that he does every Friday. He's had the same thing for the last 7 years, every Friday.
That sounded good.
I like Sebastian. Sebastian's like me, man. Food is important to him. Not only does he have Whataburger every Friday, but he loves to smoke briskets as well. His team's got to get hot, though, right now. Down 18-0, and here's Jackson keeping it down the left-hand sideline, going to get it close to the 10-yard line. Bill, how many times have we said the positive yardage that we've seen here tonight has generally come for the Ravens and Frog Bucks at the feet of Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, great big chunk of it, at least 80% of it.
Here he is rolling to his left, going to take it to the 15-yard line, and he took a shot. I mean, a shot before he let go of that one to Jackson.
This is the 8th of 10 games. We have not seen a shutout yet.
On the verge here, unless Lamar Jackson and Baltimore and Frog Bucks can get it going. Flushed out, and down he'll go at the 18-yard line. And now all of a sudden the Packer defense just starting to tee off a little bit on Lamar Jackson. That one actually goes for negative yardage and will bring us to the 2-minute warning. Green Bay leading it here 18-0 on Baltimore. Time starting to run out on Frog Bucks. You know, Duggan for Heisman's defense has been pretty solid on both the back end and up front. They've been able to apply pressure on Jackson when needed, but the defensive backfield have just covered up the Ravens receivers here tonight. Jackson out of the gun, looking right. Yeah, and there's a nice throw and catch here for the first score of the game for Frog Bucks. As Jackson able to get rid of it on the crossing pattern. Ravens get in the end zone, and you will not see a shutout here tonight, Bill.
Well, that was a good play. Good play, get in the end zone. A little too much, a little too late, too little too late. But you were exactly right. Up front, some good pressure. They shut down Ingram in the run game. It was like, hey, we'll let Lamar run and pick up his yards, but we'll shut down the ability to pass. And if you can shut down Ingram, you take down two of the three big weapons that you can try to move the ball with Baltimore. And Green Bay did it tonight and made Baltimore basically one-dimensional.
Here's the kickoff. Packers with 1:55 left in this one, up by 11. They'll start this drive from about the 24-yard line. We've seen the Ravens offensively here against, and they've been forced into really out of their game plan, I should say, because of the turnovers and the short fields. But coming into this one, the Frog Bucks folks, they wanted to just play kind of the quarter package. They blitz a little bit, but mainly man coverage. But contain the quarterback, containing an Aaron Rodgers. But they were under pressure from the beginning after the turnovers by the Ravens.
Let me set up this drama here because Sebastian, Frog Bucks, has 7 points. He right now is the 5th wild card. So 2 games to go, he's 5th wild card. That's why he's using his timeouts. He wants to try to get the ball back. Even if he can kick a field goal, loses this game 18-10, he's got 10 points, and that kind of gets him a little more of a cushion for one of those wild card spots because 6 losers of these 10 finals still advance to Saturday in the Big 12 tournament. So there's still a lot to play for here for the Ravens.
Yeah, one of the things that you talked about was the fact that this defense has dominated this tournament early on. There have been some real low-scoring affairs, and 10 points, as you said, puts them in the middle of the pack and gives them a good chance to make that wild card spot. They bring the pressure that time, get to Aaron Rodgers, and so now it's 4th and 20. And the Packers have not used very much time thanks to Baltimore using those timeouts. And a 1:39 to go, and the Ravens are going to get the ball back here. First punt of the night for the Packers. Here's the return by Brown. Trying to get it to the edge. Bounce as he gets close to midfield. And so the Ravens now trailing 18-7. This drive actually will start on the Packers side of 50 at the 44-yard line. Jackson goes into set. 3 receivers, right? Yep. 2 to the left-hand side. Baltimore's going to have to work quickly, as Bill mentioned. Jackson flushed out, rolling to his right. Just going to get out of bounds. Stops the clock here after a solid game of about 7. Still a 1:20+ to work with here in this game. They officially give him 5. So from the 39-yard line. Duggan for Heisman's defense is trying to keep everyone in front of him here. They've done a solid job of that to date. Jackson changing the play at the line. Flushed rolls to his left. Now lets it go downfield, and it is dropped at the 3-yard line. Had it for a moment. Again, that's a tough throw on the run to his left. Unable to haul it in inside the 5 of the 3-yard line. Now all of a sudden, that would have been huge. If you're the Packers, you think, okay, maybe we dodged that one there. Let's see if we can dodge one more. 3rd and 5. Jackson checks on Martinez at middle linebacker. Martinez with a couple of interceptions already in this game. And I tell you the thing about this group right now, if you're the Baltimore Ravens, you got to feel better about this fourth quarter than you did in the previous 3 because momentum all of a sudden behind you. Then you got the crowd at home. Jackson on the run in the end zone, and this one is going to be, I think this is going to be incomplete. Got to be out of the back of the end zone, doesn't it, Bill?
Yep. 4th and 5. Well, the problem is you went for the touchdown. I mean, he's going for the win because if you're all right, let me get a touchdown, and then I can maybe go for an onside kick. But you could still, I mean, technically try to get in the field goal range, make it an 8-point game, and then if you get the onside kick, you score a touchdown, 2 points. So got to make this happen. Oh, he did.
Here on the slant, Ingram, nice catch there. They'll get the first down, put them in field goal range with 50 seconds to play here, but it also gives them the first down. And now Jackson working quickly, flushed out, rolling to his right with room. Going to take it outside and stop the clock with 44 seconds to work with. And now you got to play strategy here if you're Frog Bucks, Bill. Because are you playing for the wild card spot? Or are you still thinking to yourself, I got to try to go for the win?
You're right. Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, you could still do both. Oh, that hurts. That hurts getting sacked.
Yes.
Clock, keep running.
You can't stop the clock now. Yes. Now 37 seconds to work with.
I would kick the field goal and then try to get an onside kick.
Down to 24 seconds, 4 wide. And again, the strategy would be if you kick the field goal here, you're playing for the wild card spot at that point. If you've done your homework leading into it. The slant, again, is caught inside the 5 to the 3-yard line, but the Ravens are going to have to hurry and time. It's going to run out. Yeah, they're going to let the clock run out here. They did not get set in time. And the clock runs out here on Frog Bucks, who were threatening. And so this final's going to stand at 18-7. And Bill is 7 points right now, enough to get you into the wild card.
Well, right now, yeah, he's got the number 5 spot, but we've got 2 games to go in the evening. And, here's the thing. It's easy for us as we're kind of watching the game and we've got the, sheet of paper with the wild card scores. And when you're playing Madden, you're typically not thinking about wild card and getting in and points scored. But you got to keep that in the back of your mind, though, because, like I said, he could have kicked the field goal. 10 points gives him a little bit of a cushion for the wild card. But especially when he got tackled and he was in bounds and the clock was running, I would have kicked the field goal, then go for the onside kick. If you get that back, you at least have a little bit of time on the clock. I mean, now you're talking, Hail Mary and a miracle touchdown, but you got to try to give yourself a chance to get in the end zone. And by having the clock tick down and not kicking that field goal, you take any chance away of trying to win the game. So I wasn't really sure about the thought process there. So the time management at the end there kind of cost them, and it may cost him a wild card because he didn't kick that extra field goal and end up with 10 points. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, the story of this one, by the way, was the turnovers. So early on, the Ravens offense turns it over twice. Martinez with the interceptions. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers for Duggan for Heisman made them pay. They do it with a couple of scores early to make it 12-0 at the half. Baltimore shows a little bit of life in the second half. Green Bay added another score. It's 18-0 at this point. Baltimore's offense gets untracked a little bit thanks to the feet of Lamar Jackson. But again, it was just too much too early for Green Bay and too much for Baltimore to overcome. Time ends up running out on them here on this play, and your final ends up being 18-7 now. as Duggan for Heisman comes away with the victory over Frog Bucks. The Packers defeat the Ravens. So the Duggan for Heisman team now are your TCU champions. We await to see if Frog Bucks makes it into the wild card as we get ready for what the round of 16 coming up on Saturday, right, Bill?
Yeah, absolutely. All of these winners from the 10 schools advance, 6 wild cards, and you've got the Sweet 16, if you want to call it that. And yeah, it's been a great tournament. Nobody's been shut out yet. Some low scoring, good defense. I've been a little disappointed with the teams, and I mentioned this, that played the Ravens, but I've been impressed with the guys that have played the Packers. I really didn't expect anybody to take Green Bay. And I know you've got Aaron Rodgers, but I just didn't see that happening at all. And I've been pretty impressive with the people that have taken the Packers. They've played pretty well, pretty solid defense. I don't know if you noticed this at the end of the match. They had Lowry as the player of the game. How do you not give it to Martinez? He had 2 interceptions.
I know. 2 picks in this one. And the 2 picks early really set the stage for it. The third one was late when it didn't really matter. It was 12-0 at that point, put the game out of reach. And the way your defense was playing, you had to feel confidence if you were Ethan McAdams that they were not going to come back on your defense the way that it was playing. You're right. I think I would have voted Martinez for the MVP, but nonetheless, the big thing is that Duggan for Heisman and the Packers get the win.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Brian, you did a great job. It was fun hanging out with you here for a little bit as you called a great game here for these 2 TCU players who put up a good fight. We've got 2 more games to try to figure out who's going to the Sweet 16 of the Big 12 Madden Summer Challenge. Texas and Texas Tech on the way. Stick around. We'll take a short break and come back. 2 more games coming up right here. right, we're halfway through the evening, 2 more games to go, and we'll start with the Texas Longhorns here for our third matchup of the night here in the Big 12 Madden Challenge presented by Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda. I'm your host this evening, Bill Pollock, and we'll bring along Craig Way, who will bring us the call tonight. Craig, I don't know if I've ever heard this before, but we had a prediction before the game. One of our contestants said, you will see 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles. And he wasn't talking about his defense. He was talking about his own offense. I don't get it. What are we looking at here tonight?
That's William Schoaf, who is one of our contestants, a recent graduate of the University of Texas. Hasn't been playing Madden that long. He said, in fact, really about 3 weeks, but he thinks he's onto something by going with the Baltimore Ravens and going with Lamar Jackson. Now, we just saw in the prior contest in the TCU championship where Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense did not fare that well. They struggled at times. They might have gotten enough points to earn a wild card spot. That extra point by Justin Tucker might have gotten him over the spot. And as you pointed out late, Bill, they send the number 5 wild card position right now. But I can tell you for a fact that 7 or 8 points will automatically get you in. Meanwhile, as NC Horns, and that's because William Schoaf is from the state of North Carolina originally, but he is a recent graduate of the University of Texas, takes on Team Wallace. Now, Team Wallace is a pretty interesting dynamic because it's Austin Wallace. Austin Wallace is a just completed freshman season right-handed pitcher for the Texas Longhorn baseball team. And he appeared in a couple of ball games before the pandemic shut everything down. Now, he's been playing Madden since 2009. He said ever since he was using it on Nintendo Wii. Here's the other interesting thing. He, too, will play as the Baltimore Ravens tonight, mainly because he likes the speed of Lamar Jackson, and he figures he can get it outside on the edge as well as utilize him and guys like Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, and Mark Ingram to get the points. So we're going to have Ravens on Ravens crime tonight is what we're going to have, purple on purple, and so we'll look forward to that to see who can win the University of Texas championship. And I dare say 8 points would get them a wild card spot no matter how they finish up in the game tonight.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. And Austin came back from Florida, driving back from Florida today. So he must have been playing the play-in games down in Florida while on vacation and then drove back. So the big question for you is, does fatigue become a factor for him?
Well, he's an athlete, so hopefully that won't be a factor for Austin. He'll be ready to go. And it's interesting, traveling back with his family. He played for his father, Danny Wallace, the head coach at Flower Mound High School in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where he is a native. And again, another point of irony, Danny Wallace, his head coach there at Flower Mound, used to be a high school baseball coach here in the greater Austin area at Georgetown High School, but he's been at Flower Mound High, and Austin played for his dad there. He was all-district, broke the pitching records of the prior record holder, Kyle Johnston, who was a former Texas Longhorn. So there's a lot of connections interwoven here with this Wallace family, but the only connection Austin Wallace is thinking about right now is connecting with the round of 16 and moving on. And you were able to tell, as I was today, Bill, in our conversation with young Mr. Wallace, he's quite confident about his opportunity and his chances to advance.
Yeah, the one thing that I've been critical of when watching teams that took the Ravens is that they haven't been able to generate offense. He was saying, hey, this is an unstoppable offense. So he had a completely different thought process. And his thought process through this whole thing, and you love this for a guy who's a pitcher. You talk about having confidence on the mound. He's got confidence in this game because I asked him, I said, so you feel like if you make a couple of stops on defense that you'll win this game? He said, yeah. He says, I'll do it. Yeah, I can do it. I can score with this offense. So we'll see. I don't know how you do it against this Baltimore defense because it's a pretty good, solid defense too. So, yeah, this is the first time we'll have Ravens on Ravens action. So we'll see how this plays out. I want to go back to William too, if we can, because he's an interesting character. He's only played the game for 3 weeks, and he's not sure if his strategy is going to work, but he's had a little bit of success with it. And it sounds like he's put a lot of time and thought into it. But can you talk a little bit about what his philosophy is and what he's trying to do?
Absolutely. He has talked about using one play. He said for better than 90% of his play calls, using angle smash, which will be either using the back inside or Lamar Jackson cutting back inside, hoping for the overplay by the user linebacker to be able to get outside or inside and be able to do it. He goes very unorthodox in a lot of it. He'll say, if I score touchdowns, I'm going for 2-point conversions. And if I'm kicking off, almost every time, I'm probably going to try an onside kick. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But there it is from M&T Bank Stadium. It's Ravens versus Ravens. So Team Wallace will get the ball. They're wearing the purple, the designated home. And NC Horns kicks off, and it's an onside kick to start the ball game. But Team Wallace ready for it, and so they'll take over. Like we said, we were going to see onside kicks, and there it was. But the Team Wallace was ready for it. So now they'll go to work, and here's Lamar Jackson ready to go to work on first down, and great field position to start the football game. And they'll go to the ground, and then Jackson on the zone read keeper outside. Good yardage and a first down for Lamar Jackson. So jumping right into it.
Yeah.
So after picking up first down yardage, move of the chains, Team Wallace on the march, just underway here. All the way down to the 35-yard line. We see the defense making its substitution or making its adjustments. Now to the ground, and big running room for Mark Ingram. Ingram is going to take it all the way in for a touchdown. 2 plays, Baltimore touchdown for Team Wallace to open the ball game.
Well, that was pretty fast. Wallace said he could score, and certainly proved it. Getting the run from Ingram, that was something we didn't see in the game before. But this Ravens team looks a lot faster on offense than what we just saw in the previous game in the TCU final.
47 yards and 2 plays. The 2 running plays does it. Always does a Longhorn's heart good to see another Longhorn in action, and Justin Tucker, the NFL's most accurate all-time lifetime kicker, with the kickoff. Oklahoma State graduate Justice Hill with a fair catch there, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So now Ravens on offense with NC Horns. Now let's see how the angle smash works. A throw against it, downfield, and a catch made. Nice movement downfield and off the angle smash, the pass downfield, and a first down for the NC Horns as they keep it moving.
Yep, and he said that he likes to throw that pass to the tight end. He can kind of roll out a little bit, hit that tight end, but he really wants to look for Ingram coming out of the backfield on that angle route. And if it's not there, he looks tight end, and then you've got the ability to run the ball with Jackson as your third option.
So now ready to go back to work off the first down play and the touchdown. Here's Jackson, deep over the middle, and the ball caught again. And again, gone to the tight end twice. In that case, Mark Andrews downfield, and another first down for NC Horns. They're on the move now, quickly. And here's Jackson back to work again. Under pressure this time, down he goes. Big pressure coming in. And you'll see no huddle work quickly here. Going no huddle for NC Horns. Jackson downfield, and that pass picked off. Intercepted at the 45-yard line. Great move on the interception there, Bill.
Great coverage. This is going to happen real fast, but next time he comes on offense, I want to explain what he's doing with Lamar Jackson as the quarterback, the Ravens in white.
Here goes Jackson again off the interception from Anthony Avery. And there goes Jackson. They'll not catch him. In for a touchdown. 2 possessions, 3 total offensive plays, Bill Pollock, 2 Baltimore touchdowns for Team Wallace.
Well, Team Wallace said he could move with this team. He's using that run option, though. And we haven't seen much of that with these Ravens teams. So a couple of quick touchdowns and a missed extra point. We've seen a lot of those here in this tournament.
Yeah. You know, I asked my son plays Madden a lot, and he said it's all in that angle of how you're doing it, timing on that kick. It can make even the most accurate kickers miss. And Justin Tucker, certainly the most accurate in the NFL, hitting the upright there. So it's a 13-0 ball game as we move a couple of minutes here into quarter number one, and Team Wallace off to this really good start. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with NC Horns. Jackson, straight up the middle, and that's the run there. He'll take it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Moving quickly with no huddle. Gain of 4, and it's second down and 6. Jackson again for the air with some time. Now pressure coming, but he's got running room. Here goes Lamar Jackson, 45 and a first down, out to the 47 near the 48-yard line before he's wrapped up. No huddle, quickly to the line come the Ravens of NC Horns against the Ravens of Team Wallace. For the air, over the middle and picked off, intercepted, down to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown. How about that turnaround and the interception for the score for Baltimore, bringing it back all the way, taking it in. The second interception thrown by Jackson. What a great leaping grab and return for the score by Marlon Humphrey. So here comes Baltimore trying to regain the point lost off the missed extra point. Quick look to the side. And you hear the audible call there. Switch it, says Lamar Jackson. This all on a two-point conversion play. He'll shift Ingram to the round to the right, looking for a blocker. Now turns it back. Can he get there? Cannot do it. But it's still a commanding lead now for Team Wallace. 19-0. Still in the first quarter of the game. Brought to you by HEB. HEB here. Everything's better. It's certainly better for Team Wallace right now. And the kickoff, Justice Hill to bring it out. Out over the 15 to the 20, and then wrapped up right around the 20-yard line. So now, Bill, NC Horns has got to get something in gear here, down 3 scores.
Yeah, and what you have to watch for is, and I know it's tempting to run Jackson outside, but you got to stay in the pocket and stay true to that if you want to pass. There you go, perfect example, because he's got room to run and get up the middle, and he gets a big gain. He did that on those 2 previous plays. That last possession, he was able to run up the middle. When he came out to the side and got outside the tackle, that's when he threw the interception, and he's done that twice. Stayed in the pocket.
Now stays in and throws across the middle again. A slant over the middle there for the tight end. Brings up second down after the short gain. 8 yards needed for the first. Again, running room. They'll take it up the middle, but this time the defense adjusts and limits the game, so it's going to bring up third down now. The 3rd and 8 for NC Horns. Lamar Jackson. With some time now, pressure coming, and down he goes. Well, the pressure coming again, and so it brings up 4th down. And then they'll line up to go for it here. Down 19 points. Jackson to the air. Not a man. Intercepted. Picked off again. Say goodnight to this one. This one's coming back all the way for another Ravens touchdown. It is all Team Wallace right now, as that one is brought home for the 4th score of this opening quarter. Marcus Peters on the pick 6. Now for the extra point. That one's good. Tucker converts, and it's a 26-0 first quarter lead for Team Wallace.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how many points we've seen in the first quarter from a team, and nowhere close to 26. This is an absolute clinic that Austin Wallace is putting on right now.
Hill, 4 yards deep to bring it out. Out over the 20 and wrapped up there. So 26-0. We're still in the first quarter. You don't want to say this thing is over, but certainly for NC Horns, the key is you got to get in the end zone, get a touchdown and an extra point at least to give you a shot at a wild card if you're unable to rally. So there's still hope, and a long way to go, but they need points. Jackson, deep over the middle and caught and picked. Turned back on the 3rd interception. Hey, what was it that William Shove told us, Bill? He said, probably going to have 3 interceptions. I'm sure he didn't think they'd all come in the first quarter, but 3 first-quarter interceptions have turned it right back over to Team Wallace.
Now, I may have lost track. Is that 3 or was that 4 already?
Is it
I'm
4?
trying to remember. I don't know.
I had the first quarter drive and 3 turnovers after that. So it's 3 turnovers after the first quarter drive, and here they go again. Caught, touchdown. Wow, this is a clinic that Team Wallace is putting on here in the first quarter. I know you've seen a lot of football in this Madden tournament early on. I don't think you've seen a quarter like this one so far, Bill Pollock.
No, I don't even know if all the guys that have taken Baltimore to this point have scored 32 points, and Team Wallace has done it in the first quarter of this one. Wow.
And why not go for two? They'll hand it to Ingram. He'll take it across, and it's a 34-0 lead for Team Wallace here with 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah. Well, listen, if there's kids that won from the other schools and they're watching this, you got to be taking notes, because if you're going to face Team Wallace, he knows how to move the ball, knows how to score points. You better be taking some notes and figuring out how to game plan against this kid.
Hill will bring it upfield, and you're right. It's been lopsided here in the first quarter. Perhaps another play to come here, but it has been all Team Wallace as the home-standing Ravens against the visiting Ravens here in quarter number one. Jackson to the air with a lot of time. That one's caught on the final play of the first quarter, and what a quarter it was. Into the first quarter, the score is 34-0. Paper, and you just saw do you give up? Madden will offer you the option to do that. And William, don't give up. Get a touchdown and an extra point, and you can probably be a wild card team. We were talking about that with the wild card points being what they are right now, Bill. 32 points is the top. That was in the Iowa State game, followed by 27 in the first game this evening, posted by West Virginia. And then you have a 14 and a 10 and a 7 and 3 6s. So 7 points would probably do it. 8 would definitely do it to get you in. So I think right now, basically what we're talking about is NC Horns just finding a way to get in the end zone a time or two.
And he's not quitting. Good for him.
So we go second quarter, downfield and incomplete. Looking downfield, nothing there. So it is second down and 10. Jackson will take off, and the Raven defense, they've seen it in practice. They know what's possible there, so they wrap up Lamar Jackson. So now it brings up third down. All kinds of pressure. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And so now it brings up fourth down. And they'll continue to go for it. Down 34-0, why not? What difference does it make at this point? It's about trying to get some points, but they're not going to find any on this possession. Down goes Jackson. Here comes Team Wallace, and ready to go for the throat. Oh, by the way, they've already gone for the throat, but they'll continue to try to tighten the stranglehold.
NC Horns protected 3 interceptions. He's hit that, and 2 fumbles. He's got 50% of that right. So his predictions are pretty solid.
On first down, downfield for the end zone, and that is intercepted. Nice play there. NC Horns comes up with it. You see Jackson throwing on the run, and great leaping grab to come down with that interception by Jimmy Smith. Terrific play by Smith to pull it in. Now backed up in the shadow of their goalpost. They got to find some room for some offense, but here comes the defense. Down it goes, and Team Wallace has scored in just about every imaginable way, including a safety there to make it 36-0.
Well, this is a good learning experience for NC Horns, who's played this game for just 3 weeks.
Hollywood Brown reversing his field. He's got all kinds of things to find some room, but he is run down. The Marquise Brown, the former Oklahoma Sooner. So early second quarter and a 36-0 lead for Team Wallace. They have already posted the most points in a game so far in this Madden tournament, and looking for more, and they're going to get more. There goes Lamar Jackson. Forget about this one. In for the score. Baltimore scores again. This would actually, with an extra point, tie the most points with 43 points posted in the Oklahoma State game last night. But an extra point here would equal that, and we're still in the first half, Bill.
It's an absolute clinic, and Team Wallace was right on. He said, my offense can't be stopped. And I don't know. I don't know what he's doing different than what I've seen from this whole tournament from other Ravens teams. This is incredible. I was a little leery when he said, I can move with this offense. I'm like, all right, he's just talking. But he's backing it up.
43-0, and here's the Justin Tucker kickoff. This one will go pretty deep, but Justice Hill's going to bring it out nevertheless. Hill across the 20 and down at the 23-yard line. So, what can NC Horns do at this point? He said there was a decent chance. He said I could either catch lightning in a bottle or get run out of the gym, which is what's happening. But he's looking for points now. Got a lot of time, but not much in the way of a running lane. Clark coming over to put the wrap up.
Yeah, he's just running the same defense. He's leaving that middle linebacker just staying planted, so you can't throw to the back over the middle.
Oh. There it is across the middle and intercepted again. That's the 4th interception of this first half, and they're just reading it well. The linebackers and the safeties really crashing down, Bill, and coming up with big picks.
Yeah, he's running the same, as I was saying, he's running the same defense, and he's keeping that middle linebacker stuck in the middle, so it's tough to hit that back. And then if he runs up the middle with Jackson, then the linebacker's right there to stop him for a short gain. So the one-play experiment not working here against Team Wallace.
Jackson looking over the NC Horns Ravens defense. Now with some time. Throwing on the run. Downfield and caught for the touchdown. Marquise Hollywood Brown, the ex-Oklahoma Sooner, in for the score. And Justin Tucker for this extra point for Team Wallace and his Baltimore Ravens. With just under 3 minutes to go in the half, have hung half 100 here in the first half. 50-0, the lead for Team Wallace.
Craig, over under 120.
Well, let's see how it goes. There's a touchback there, but yeah, there's still a little under 3 minutes to go in the half, and it's 50-0 Baltimore. It is come fast and furious for Team Wallace.
Well, I think NC Horns may be trying to change some things up. He's going to use this with trailing by 50. He may try a different formation here.
Try something different to the ground to Ingram. Big running room. Ingram and a first down across the 35-yard line. He said he wanted to do some ball control, Bill, and if he could control the clock the rest of the first half, get a touchdown, that's a boost. Again, it's Ingram. And he spins forward. More good yardage on first down. Going no huddle here. Ticking down to close to 2 minutes to go in the first half. Third consecutive running play this time. That Team Wallace defense ready for it, and they wrap up Mark Ingram. And that's going to take us down to the 2-minute warning where it's 50-0. Team Wallace's Ravens leading the NC Horns Ravens. Now under 2 minutes. 3rd down and 4 for the Horns. To the air. And caught. Or no, unable to hold on to it. Just pulled out of his hands the last moment. Looked like this one was going to be pulled in. Great defensive play made from behind to strip the ball loose, and it brings up 4th down.
He's back to his bread and butter play now.
Jackson will find an open man. Caught for the first down. Been working with the tight ends when he has been able to complete passes, and did so again right there as he works it for a first down as he found Jalen Moore there for the pass. 1st and 10, under 90 seconds remaining in the half. This time, ground off the right side, and a little bit there for Justice Hill, but not much. Now on 2nd. Back to the air, caught, and it's Brown again. Under a minute. NC Horns with all 3 of their timeouts, so they have some time. If they can try to get it downfield and get a score here before the half, it would be a huge boost for their wild card hopes. Back to the ground again. Not this time. The middle just crashing down on Ingram. And now coming up on 4th and inches. Again to the ground. This time it's enough for the first down. And a timeout called. Under 40 seconds remaining in the half. Under 30 seconds remaining in the half.
Yeah, this is an impressive drive. I mean, NC Horns is putting together a nice drive here. Maybe get some points.
So 26 seconds remaining in the half. Under pressure, Jackson nowhere to go, and down he's brought. And they'll have to use another timeout here. NC Horns down to one timeout remaining in the half. Jackson downfield, and that is intercepted. Yet another pick. And that's going to end the threat here late in the first half. Just glue-like coverage and an excellent leap. And the second interception of this first half. Look at that one-handed grab pulled down there. And so with now just 16 seconds to go, they still want more. Lamar Jackson running and brought down. You see the time remaining as it ticks down. Under 10 seconds remaining in the half. And it looks like Team Wallace is content to take a 50-0 lead into the half. Pretty impressive, Bill. You can look at it half number one.
It was very impressive. The offense wasn't stoppable. Team Wallace told us that. 6 interceptions in the first half. So, yeah, pretty solid. Pretty solid.
We get ready to start the second of our game, brought to you by HEB. At HEB here, everything's better. It's all better for Team Wallace as the second half gets underway, and bringing it out over the 10 and just shy of the 20-yard line. And again, the mission now, 50-0. We know the direction this game is headed. It's all about whether NC Horns can get in the end zone. A touchdown and an extra point may well get them a wild card spot, but they've got to get in the end zone at least one time. And you see still trying to run it in the middle and going no huddle. Now 3rd down and 4. Again, charging into the middle is Ingram. And Ingram just shy of the first down. So 4th down coming up for NC Horns. After the 3-yard carry, it's 4th and 1. The purple defense, the crowd behind them, urging them on.
Gonna run to the
Under
right.
center, Jackson,
Yep.
and it won't work.
Oh.
Right in the middle of the line, going to the fullback, and right there, ready for it, the center of the defensive front. The ball goes over on downs to Team Wallace.
I thought he was going to try to go to the outside. Maybe he had a chance there, especially with it stacked up at the line. But
To the ground this time is Ingram for Team Wallace. Right now operating with a 50-0 lead. Team Wallace has already posted the most points in this tournament so far. Jackson will keep it himself. Zone read outside, inside, touchdown. Been a busy guy and takes it in for another score for Team Wallace.
yeah, and NC Horns had the user guy out there, but dove out to the sideline, and Jackson just kind of waited for him to make the move first. So that's just experience over inexperience. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, he obviously knew with Jackson he was going to make a move, and he just waited long enough to see what NC Horns was going to do, and then juked, and another easy touchdown.
57-0 now, and here's Justice Hill. On the return, wrapped up, down he goes. We'll continue to talk about it. The key here is to try to find some points, any points right now, for NC Horns that could get them a wild card spot, but still looking for the first points of the ball game. Jackson to throw. Some pressure, but he's got running room, but wants to throw instead, and downfield finds the man for the first down. Nice catch made, and on the move come the Ravens of NC Horns off that catch by James Prochet. Jackson across the middle and caught, and up to midfield. Now, nope, ball's separated. The last moment, good job by the defense. We've seen ripping the ball loose to the last minute before the receiver goes to the ground with the ball. Jackson again. With pressure coming, will take off and run, and they crash down on him. How quickly this defense for Team Wallace responds and reacts. That's what Austin Wallace was talking to us about, saying he felt confident. And there is another interception. Inside the 30 to the 20, taking it back. This is going to be the second pick 6 of this football game in for the score, return by Marcus Peters.
Seventh
Second
of the
one.
game.
Oh, wow. And it is 64-0, Team Wallace. And still 2 minutes plus to go third quarter.
Hey, Craig, while we got a couple minutes here, we let things kind of play out and we can let the fans watch. I just want to tell everybody, we'll send a big shout out here to Mainline, who has put together great production. They've helped us throughout the week. I mean, this is our first time doing this stuff, and they've been outstanding. So I want to thank Sap Mizuki, our director, Kyla Kennedy, the producer, Myra Byron is the head administrator, Jace Keller is the graphics operator, incredible graphics the Mainline has put together, and Keith Landry, the head of production, and we got another interception here, making that 8.
8th pick, but you're exactly right. What a great job by our crew here for Mainline, and getting good looks at all 8 interceptions thrown by Lamar Jackson for NC Horns. Now Lamar Jackson for Team Wallace, back to the ground, touchdown in Mark Ingram. You know, the Mark Ingram on this side of the football is having a lot more fun than the Mark Ingram on the other side of the football.
Great point. Great observation. Craig, I want to go back to Mainline here because they sent us a text, and I guess there's some Longhorn grads and big fans of yours, and they wanted you to give a shout out to Anthony Myrie, a UT grad who was looking forward to hearing you. So they want you to give a shout out to Anthony. I'll let you
Anthony,
do it. I already gave it out there.
Absolutely, Anthony. Thank you very much. And it's good to be calling some play-by-play, let me tell you. Even though it's not going well for NC Horns, back to the air. And again, at this point, you find yourself rooting, really, for William, just to try to see if he can get into the end zone, get on the board, and maybe you can get a wild card spot out of it. But he's really struggled with 7 interceptions and turn it over on downs 3 times. So William Schoaf hoping to find a way to see if he can find point. To the air, out of the backfield, and moving it upfield for a first down. Nice catch and run there to move of the chain.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good play. Ran up to the line and dumped it off. It was pretty clever.
Jackson over the middle and caught, but nowhere to go after the catch made by Ingram. Back to the air again, or the ground. Run, cannot escape the grasp of Clark, who wraps him up and brings him down. So now third down. With some time. Jackson, and again the pursuit just collapses quickly and gets on. That's Clark again. He's really just kind of spying and clamping down on him. And that's the end of the third quarter. It's 71-0 favor of Team Wallace. 4th and 13 now.
Going for it. Why not?
Got to find a man downfield looking. Got to get rid of it. And it's incomplete. So it'll go back over to Team Wallace. As we were mentioning, William Schoaf, a recent graduate of the University of Texas. And William was able to graduate from the School of Liberal Arts, degree in government, and hoping that he can find something going here, but it is all Team Wallace right now as Ingram is limited to a loss of a yard there on first down.
I loved Williams' attitude, though, when we were talking to him. He's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to try it. I'll see. Who knows? Maybe I stumbled upon something, or, maybe it's going to be a train wreck. He wasn't sure, but he said, I'll see what happens. I got to this point, so I'm going to roll with it and see what happens. So, I mean, he had a great attitude going into the game.
Yeah, back to the ground. Ingram. Yeah, Bill, how about the Madden game again, issuing an opportunity, an invitation for him to throw in the towel and call it a game. He's like, no, sir, I'm going to continue to play. And again, there's something in play for him, even down 71-0, but it's all about can he find a way to get the ball back and get into the end zone and get a touchdown. Back to the ground, Ingram wrapped up A short game. On
I'm
second
kind of
down.
pulling for NC Horns. I want to see NC Horns get in the end zone. I think it'd be great for him to get a wild spot.
Well, it's down inside the 10. And again, the way the math is working right now, we just saw in the TCU game there with the losing team coming up with 7 points, which at the moment has them as the number 5 wild card seed. But there's one more game after this with the Texas Tech Championship. Here goes Jackson. He'll finish it. Nice spin move there. Did he get it into the end zone? He did. Yet another touchdown. As Team Wallace has another score, and Tucker for the extra point to make it 78 zip. With just over 2 minutes to go. But you're right, Bill. Now it comes down to the question, can NC Horns find a way to get it in the end zone?
Yeah, try something. Just something. Because you know right now that Wallace is just running kind of a base defense. He's seen what you've been doing all game. So try to pull something out that you might be able to break a long one and maybe get in the end zone.
There's enough time, but NC Horns has to find something. That one over the middle broke it up. Hollywood Brown just smothered up by the defense.
Wallace playing for that shutout, too. We haven't had one yet. Here we are in the 9th game of 10. This could be our first shutout.
Good point. Downfield pass is caught, and we're right at the 2-minute warning. So across the middle and a first down right near the midfield stripe. NC Horns' last best chance, Bill Pollock, to try to get this thing into the end zone.
He's become a fan favorite. Pulling for him. Feel it.
To the left side, caught again.
And you know, Team Grit from Kansas State, Boomer Sooner from Oklahoma, and the Browns from OSU, who all have 6 points, are hoping for a shutout.
Yep, and they may get it because there is interception number 8. 8th kick of the ball game. Humphrey comes up with it, and it'll go right back over to Team Wallace.
All right, so those 3 users I just mentioned from K-State, Oklahoma, and OSU still hanging in there. I was just going to take a knee.
Yep, and they'll go ahead and plan on running. Now, you know, if I was NC Horns, I would go ahead and try to use timeout, see if you can find a way to get the ball back. wanting to get them. You say, what? You use your timeouts down 78-0. It's all about playing the game at this point, finding a way to play the game and see if you can get the ball back. But looks like time will run out here. It may have an opportunity, but they would only get it back with seconds to go. 3rd down. The knee taken. So now, NC Horns cannot stop the clock.
Showing some mercy.
Here's something we haven't seen the entire ball game, a punt. So Sam Cook ready to punt it. And kick away, and it's not a deep one. It went out of bounds. So NC Horns will have it with 54 seconds to go, as that one was not a real deep punt, went out of bounds. So here's a final opportunity for NC Horns. Do they have a Hail Mary in them?
They do.
Now to find out, over the middle and caught. And a first down.
Hold on. Hold on here.
Again, deep over the middle and caught inside the 25. And you say, are you that excited about a 78-0 game? Yes. If a touchdown is scored here with an extra point, it could mean a wild card spot. Over the middle, incomplete. Down 8 seconds left, maybe 2 plays. So 8 seconds left, maybe 2 plays. Jackson cannot take a sack. Going deep. Over the middle, caught. Down inside the 5. Oh, no, get it into the end zone. That's going to do it. Time will run out 2 yards short of the end zone. The clock is stopped.
What happened? Wait a minute. What did the clock stop for? Did Team Wallace call a timeout?
I think Team Wallace took a timeout. What a sporting move to give them a chance to score. Team Wallace took a timeout to give NC Horns a chance to score, but they can't get in. How about that? Team Wallace, a great move of sportsmanship, called the timeout to give NC Horns one final shot, and then Wallace stuffs them at the goal line to end it. The first shutout in the Madden Summer Challenge is posted by the champions from the University of Texas, Austin Wallace. Team Wallace with a 78-0 victory, and it's on to the Sweet 16 on Saturday.
If Team Wallace would have let him score, Oklahoma would have hated Texas even more. They would have been calling conspiracy. Hey, they're letting our own in to get in the wild card. Oh, that would have just, the rivalry just would have exploded, all because of Madden. We could have had another, 100-year
war to hate Texas. If you're a fan of the Oklahoma Sooners or if you play for Oklahoma, that would have been the reason. But I'll tell you what, credit to Austin Wallace. What he did was, you see the highlights of his total domination in this, but what he did on that final drive, Bill, like you said, they gave ground grudgingly and gave up some passes, but got down there, took the timeout to allow NC Horns one final shot to get at the end zone, but they were going to have to earn it, and they didn't earn it, so Wallace does pitch the shutout. Safe to say he's the number one seed, if you will, going into Saturday's round of 16. What a performance.
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, we finally saw a Ravens team that was able to move the ball and have no issues at all. So it's going to be really interesting watching him on Saturday now get into, and this is no knock against NC Horns because he's only been playing Madden for 3 weeks. And some of these kids have been playing it for 15 years. So it'll be interesting to see how he does when we get a chance to watch him in some of these final 16 matchups, and if he gets to the Elite Eight and Final Four, how he does against experienced guys, because this was pretty impressive. I mean, he's not going to score 78 points in those games, but he certainly knows how to use this Ravens offense, and he makes great reads, great decisions, and he's going to be a fun one to watch.
He took his foot off the gas, remember, after posting 50 points there at the half and just scored 28 in the second half to post the 78-0 victory, coming up with 8 interceptions, including 3 pick sixes in the ball game. And you're right. It'll be interesting to see how they fare. We've seen several of the players use the Kansas City offense or use the Kansas City Chiefs total team, and that Chiefs offense explosive. But clearly, we've seen when Lamar Jackson gets it going, it can make a big difference. Now, he also said, and there you see the bracket with the win, the champion, Team Wallace. He also said that he thought he'd have a chance to do well with that offense and that he could get stops on defense. It is also fair to point out, as NC Horns told us, as William Schoaf told us, he said, we're going to give up points, and I'm going to have turnovers. I just hope to get some points of my own. Well, he was right about the giving up the points. He was right about the turnovers, just unable to get it into the end zone. Even a touchdown with an extra point probably would have gotten him a wild card berth. Now we know going into the final game tonight with Texas Tech ready to host its championship, with Jeff Haxton ready to call that in a few moments, that a touchdown would earn the 6th seed, and a 7 points would get him in there. A touchdown without the extra point, then you're going to get the tiebreaker to see who earns that final wild card spot. 7 points, we know, is the magic number. That'll get you that final wild card spot. And TCU, with their losing team having 7 points, earned the wild card spot. You're going to have 2 from Baylor. You're going to have 2 from Iowa State. You're going to have 2 from Kansas. You're going to have 2 from TCU. And we'll see what happens with the final game of the night. Do want to thank our friends from HEB. What a great job they've done, and how generous they are contributing the prize pack, the $1,000 HEB gift card. HEB, here, everything's better.
Oh, that's outstanding. Yeah, thanks to them. And Craig, you did a great job. I mean, look at you got the backdrop. You bought the new headsets. I mean, you went all out for this. I mean, that's the way you do it.
Hey, had to prepare for the season, right? Hopefully we all have football to view, football to call this year. In the meantime, it's a nice filler, so to speak, to get the opportunity to call it on behalf of the University of Texas. And congratulations. I leave you with this thought here, Bill. As we mentioned, the young man who posted the most impressive performance so far in this tournament, Austin Wallace, tonight. What a job he did. And I had texted his head baseball coach at the University of Texas, David Pierce, this afternoon and said, hey, one of your own has reached the championship round of the Madden Summer Challenge for Texas, and it's your freshman right-hander, soon to be a sophomore, Austin Wallace. He said, well, at least I know his thumbs will be in shape. And his game was in shape tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, mid-season form. Craig, listen, I enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on here tonight.
Great job. Enjoyed working with
you. Yeah, thank you. All right, so we've got one more now, Texas Tech. We've got to come up with one more championship. And obviously, we know Patrick Mahomes, the $500 million player. Certainly somebody from Texas Tech is going to take Mahomes. We'll find out what the matchups are when we come right back. Stick around. And welcome back for the final of 10 championships at Big 12 schools in the Madden Summer Challenge, presented by Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda. Bill Pollock with you once again. Texas Tech, our final school, an unbelievable field that signed up for Texas Tech. And I want to bring along the voice of Texas Tech basketball, baseball, you name it, Jeff Haxton. Jeff, great to be with you. We're going to bring this thing home tonight and wrap up the last of 10 of these school championships. And let's talk just a little bit about the number of participants that signed up from Texas Tech to play in this Madden Summer Challenge from the Big 12.
65 guys show up, and now you've got two that are ready to rumble. And Austin Watts has chosen the Ravens, and Osai guy has he's taken the Houston Texans, and just can't wait. These guys are going to have some different strategies. I think we may see Osai guy, whose team name is the Goondocks, rush the football some, and we'll see Austin Watts air it out. Should be interesting. But 65 guys down to 2.
Man, that is absolutely crazy. Now, all right, so two things I want to bring up. One, nobody took Patrick Mahomes in this final. That's a little surprising. I thought for sure we'd have a Chiefs on Chiefs.
Yeah, not when you look at the rest of the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? That defense has some holes. And so I think those guys, they see that, yeah, we can throw it to Tyreek Hill, but we're also going to have to play some defense. So that's why you saw Austin Watts take the Ravens, and that's why you saw Osai guy take Houston, because they like the balance of these teams, and they are loaded on defense. As we see how we got to this point, the Goondocks knocking off Wubba Lubba Dub, and the no-fly zone taking out the Cheeseheads.
I love these screen names. That might be the best one.
Hey, also, we had NC Horns, right? Poor NC Horns just lost to Team Wallace. I don't want him to feel bad, though. Do you remember November 2003? Oklahoma 77, Texas A&M 0. So don't feel bad.
No. Is that personal to you at all? That one sting you personally?
It was for the Texas Tech fan base. I'm sure it was a great day because the Aggies got worn out.
Yep.
By the way, look at my controller. This is the way I play Xbox. You see this? The rubber piece is gone, so I've gone with the tape. That's athletic tape around there. So.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because if you lose your grip, you're in big trouble. Big trouble.
Yeah. Well, that seems to me like you've had to use that. Just that you're panicking. You're pressing the panic button there. You wore it out.
Absolutely. It's not very clean. It's not COVID friendly. This is the only I can only use this controller, Bill.
That's well, yeah, but listen, you're taped up. It's like old school, man. It's taped up. You're down and dirty. That's it's kind of the way you play Madden, isn't it? Grind it out.
Absolutely. I want to run the football.
Yeah.
So let's Madden.
Let's do it. So the Goondocks are Baltimore, and the no-fly zone are the Houston Texans. And the Goondocks, ERA, he had an eye procedure done today. He's basically playing with one eye. When we talked to him, he said he was in a lot of pain and just, obviously the bright light bothering him. So he's playing this game with sunglasses, and he was gonna think about just bailing on this. He said, "No, come on, I got this far. I gotta follow through with this." So, I mean, he's gutting it out. So these kids are putting everything on the line to try to advance to Saturday. Good for him.
He played football in San Antonio at Brandeis as we get a little zone read left and knocked down by 3 Texans led by J.J. Watt. Mark Ingram nowhere to go. Bill, you look at this Houston team, you've got DeAndre Hopkins, who's one of the 2 best players on the game. Then Watt, Clowney, Reed, Joseph, McKinney, Merciless, all defenders that are all stacked right there at the top. And there's a pick taking it the other way, maybe to the house, is Conley. Adios, muchacho. That's 6 for the Houston Texans, and a huge strike for the man that had the eye procedure. Mr. Osai guy says 6.
Wow. That was fast. That was really fast. Good job by No Fly Zone coming up with the pick 6, 7-0 already. Quick start. Strong defense.
Sorry, No Fly Zone with that pick. This is Justice Hill. He'll take it out and get knocked down.
We've had a mixed bag of results here with the Ravens tonight. We saw obviously a clinic put on in that Texas game, but we'll see what we can find out here from the Goondocks, what they can do offensively with Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson headed left with Ingram. Stacked up and dropped by Whitney Merciless, left outside linebacker. You look at his overall value, Bill, 83. And you look, again, I went through it for Houston. 84, 83, 83, 83. And I got some unbelievable numbers on the other side for John Harbaugh's Ravens pertaining to Lamar Jackson that we'll get to. 7-0 early on a pick six. Lamar Jackson slings it over the middle. Diving catch by Snead, and that will give some early momentum here to the Ravens, who desperately needed that.
That was a great catch. Good play over the middle.
That's Mark Andrews in motion out of the backfield. Jackson evading pressure, can run or throw. He's going to run it. A little tightrope there. Gets him some nice positive yardage, ushered out of bounds by the Texans. But we heard that. Don't necessarily want to use him that way, but if we have to, we're going to take Lamar Jackson. His overall value in this game, 76. When 2021 comes out, Bill, how about 94?
Yeah, pretty solid. In real life, Jackson said he wants to be paid the same amount of money. He wants to get in the same neighborhood as Patrick Mahomes. What do you think of that?
Ingram bursts through down to the 26, sandwiched by Watt. Hurry up offense, Bill. We see this a bunch. Jackson sprinting out, shrugs off a tackler, and gets it all the way down inside the 10.
That's really fortunate because he had the ball in his right hand, and quarterbacks fumble a lot. And to take on a defender and actually run into him, hold on to the ball, and then get more yards. Impressive play there by the Goondocks.
Pitch out goes to Ingram. Smothered out of bounds. Thanks to our friends here in Lubbock, Texas Tech Credit Union. The winner of this matchup, Bill, is going to go home with a $250 Visa card. 7-0 early Texans, but the Ravens on the move. Jackson wanders, and does the right thing and throw it away. That's a smart play. Oftentimes you see guys force it, not that time.
No, it almost could have been a horrible decision going all the way back to the 30, but was able to get rid of it. And I guess he's out of the pocket at that point. He's almost out of the stadium when you run back that far, so no intentional grounding. Just keep running.
And no interception. This is 3rd and 12. Nickel defense for the Texans. And Jackson rifles middle. Leaping attempt. Incomplete in the back of the end zone. Andrews couldn't haul it in. Andrews, a guy from Oklahoma that had 852 yards receiving and 10 touchdowns a year ago. Justin Tucker is on for the field goal, and it's good. 7-3 Texans with just under 2 minutes left. Good drive there. Good answer, Bill.
Yeah, after throwing the pick six, and I don't mind that pass into the end zone when you've got your big guy, you got your tight end, the guy that can make those, tough catches. Most times you're going to come away with that. So, all right, you get 3 points, not bad. Now come back and play some solid defense.
We see the skills from Stills out across the 30. And now Deshaun Watson. Big hole up the middle for Miller. He gets plowed down at the 45. But what great blocking by that offensive line. Good push, Bill.
That was a huge hole. Nice start.
Stills the only man split right. Handoff, more good room over the left guard. Good chunk of change there on the first handoff. Michael Pierce, the defensive tackle, has the second best overall rating for the Ravens at 92. Watson, acres of room with the juke, still going, and he'll tightrope inside the 20.
At room, the juke, a great block downfield. The wide receiver doing his job. Big pickup.
Miller following his blockers. Smothered down to the ground. Defensive line tough for the Ravens. Play action, got to get rid of it quickly. They do. Touchdown! Big league find there on that little post route. And Houston's taken a 13-3 lead. The extra point is good. The Goondocks.
Got some work to do now.
No fly zone looking good. Now Justice Hill. Slam down.
All right, let's see if we can get the offense going. He had a pretty decent drive after the interception. Was able to get points on the last drive. Now you want to try to get a little more momentum, see if you can get into the end zone, keep this a close game. Important drive early.
Ingram to the 31. Mark Ingram, of course, just steady as he can be out of Alabama. 1,018 yards a year ago, 10 touchdowns, 5 receiving touchdowns, and they'll work him again off the right side. Knockdown, not much there. Just underway in the second.
Saw in that last game with Texas, the read option play worked perfect for Baltimore, and that's really the only team that we've seen so far in these 10 games that have used Lamar Jackson that way, and it's been effective. Every other type of offense we've seen, they just haven't clicked with Jackson and Ingram. Pretty interesting to see how that's played out.
Jackson on the run. That's going to be a user pick. I mean, look at this. He's just baiting him into that throw. And anytime you throw across your body like that, Andrews was trailing. Interception. That's a big, big time pickoff. And now you go back to work already with a 2-score lead. Over the middle, leaping tip and almost picked. I think he was looking for Hopkins there, Bill. Look at this hit. Boom.
Paid the price.
Watson pumps. Dangerous pass, but it pays off. Or did he bring that in? I'm not sure. It looked like it got knocked away at the very end.
Yeah, it did. Yep. Good call. And the Goondocks just a little late on switching over to the user control. The pass almost snuck in there anyway.
Watson takes off and slides for the first down. What a smart play to keep it alive.
Yeah, got down just in time before he got hit. That could have been a fumble.
You don't fumble there.
No, waited till the last moment, but just got down.
Little wide receiver end around to Fuller with the juke. Nice stick work there. As he breaks it for positive yardage. And on the move here with a pickup of 8. See that defensive line pinch in. Trying to clog the middle for a play like this, and it will work. Miller gets spun down hard as he had no room to operate there. A shoulder greeting, and down you go. They'll try it again, and another big stick.
And
field goal time, Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, no delay at all. He went right to the field goal formation. Didn't even think twice.
A little lengthier kick, but absolutely no problem right there. Shredding through the uprights. Kick is good, and it's 17-3. And Justice Hill says, I will just grab this one, the Oklahoma State graduate.
Jeff, some unfamiliar territory here for the no-fly zone because in his last two games, he found himself down by 2 scores early and had to rally to come back and win. This time he's up by 2 scores late in the first half. So a little bit of a cushion here for no-fly zone and the Texans, something he hasn't been used to, playing with the lead instead of trying to come from behind.
Yeah, it feels like he's got to have an absolute advantage here because we talked to him. He said, Austin Watts, he said, hey, I play it close to the vest, and then at halftime I make adjustments. So at this point, he may be thinking he's in really good position.
He hasn't even really targeted Hopkins yet. So he talks about, kind of opening it up. And so we haven't really seen a target toward Hopkins, and he's got a 17-3 lead. So he's in a great position here for the second half, and we still got 2-minute warning here.
Goondocks really need an answer, a field goal, something on the board, and they will be feeling much better about themselves and their chances headed in to the halftime locker room. As Jackson takes that 3-step drop, nice find over the middle, but just the defense is just too good. Too much there, too strong. That's Zach Cunningham who levels the intended target. Now you're already to 3rd down and 11, and you don't want to give it to the other side and have him go up into the 20s. They're going to spread everybody out an empty backfield, 5 receivers. Jackson cut through and picked off by Cole. He's got it to the 20, and he's down there. And the Texans are cooking here with Austin Watson, the no-fly zone, setting up shop. Still plenty of time.
It looked like he had Cole set up as the spy on Jackson and then dropped back into coverage and made the interception. That was a great defensive play. Nice job by the no-fly zone there.
So trying to maybe run a little clock, melt it a little bit. Michael Pierce says, give me all of that. Run that play again. I'll eat it up. Houston still has 3 timeouts for the no-fly zone. That's a quarterback draw, maybe designed. User juke gets him down near the 10. That's that right stick. You hit that right stick and he jumps and you're by the defender and in business. 107 and counting left in the second quarter. Houston and the no-fly zone in command. Watson with time. Gets rid of it. Fuller down to the 2. Don't you let as much time run here as you possibly can if you're the no-fly zone?
Yeah, absolutely, because you still have 3 timeouts, so you can milk this, play clock down to, inside of 10 if you wanted to. And score with, less than half a minute, and if you don't, you can take a timeout. So, of course, they don't do that. Kids don't listen to us, Jeff.
No, they shouldn't. These guys have forgotten more about this game tonight than we will probably ever know. Still plenty of time here. 3 timeouts. You can run. You can throw. Watson has Miller behind him. Bootleg. Pressure off the back foot and some really miscommunication there. You got Fuller. He's in that vicinity. 2 guys in the same spot. You don't want that. This is a very conservative move here. Field goal is up and good. And the no-fly zone leads 20-3.
Solid first half. Yeah, very solid first half. Good defense. Uh-oh, what's going on here?
That's the old, I didn't want to bring it out, and I don't want to get stuck on the 5-yard line, Bill. Don't you know that move?
Man. Yeah, but he's diving all over the place. He's rolling around out there.
Fake draw. This is desperation time. You better not fumble. Oh, the big fella picked it up for him. Bailed him out. It's going to do it for the first half and in control the no-fly zone over the Goondocks. ERA Osaigai out of San Antonio and Austin Watts out of Sweetwater have hit halftime. Bill Pollock, your thoughts?
Well, I'm not a big fan of Baltimore unless you're doing the read option. I just don't think they've got the offensive firepower. Now when you're down by 17, I think it's going to be tough. But the other thing, though, for the Goondocks is we talked about the eye procedure that he had, this morning. And so he's basically playing with one eye, playing in pain, but he's toughing it out. So I'm sure that has an effect on how he's playing as well. And then the no-fly zone hasn't made a lot of mistakes.
No-fly zone with the ball. Watson right across the middle where it's wide open. Fells dancing into enemy territory down to the 44. What a laser beam from Deshaun Watson.
And this might be where we start to see him open things up like you had mentioned that he likes to do in the second half. I don't think Hopkins has a catch yet.
He's been targeted once, Bill.
Yeah.
Fells has 2 grabs. Fuller stills Fells right. Hopkins, he's run a little in and out, and that brings all the room for Watson. What a smart play. And he gets down with a slide to the right hip like he's trying to take second base for the Astros. Deshaun Watson gets another 1st and 10 for the no-fly zone. Quick out, tipped. Good defense there by the Goondocks. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the Goondocks here. This guy's smarter than us, you, me combined. A senior in geophysics, has accepted grad NASA scholarship. He is already working for NASA, Bill.
That's incredible.
Impressive.
And what are we doing? And what are we doing? We're putting tape on our Xbox controllers, Jeff. You and I. That's what we're doing. He's finding planets. Yeah, there it is. There's the evidence again.
This is actually caused from over Madden losing. When you're a loser, you have a controller like this. Deshaun Watson breaks free. See you later. To the house. Watson with the style at the end. And the no-fly zone putting themselves in great position to take home a $250 Visa card from Texas Tech Credit Union. He's impressive, Bill.
Yeah, he's playing really solid. Outstanding. And you know what? Here's the other thing I noticed, too. Do you think he went with the red in honor of Texas Tech? Did he go with the red Texans uniforms for Texas Tech?
He's trying to figure out the cheat code for the tortilla throw. It's like, how can I get the fans in Houston to throw the tortillas? All right, trying to bounce back here, the Goondocks. Slung down, couldn't get outside.
Had the receiver open, though. Yeah, he had the receiver open on that left side. Didn't get it to him.
Jackson's got all kinds of room here, just can't get hit. Stayed in bounds too long, but it's okay. That's Jonathan Joseph, 83 overall in this game, out of South Carolina, who's able to wrangle him down. 2 minutes left in the third, clock ticking. And the no-fly zone feeling good. Saw a press defense here, and look at him come to the line. That's a dangerous pass and picked off by Cunningham. Cunningham will just take a seat. Zach Cunningham, middle linebacker. And you heard both these guys, Bill, Austin Watts and E.R.A. Osai said they like to start with their user defenders usually as middle linebackers or free safeties.
Good point.
Deep ball to Stills, and he's got it.
Hey, Jeff, now I want to ask you something. Talking some strategy here.
Okay.
You're the no-fly zone. You were kind of conservative, and you built up a big lead. You like to kind of open things up in the second half. But do you think, hey, you know what, maybe some of the guys I'm going to be playing on Saturday, maybe they're watching, so maybe you hold some stuff back now and maybe just try to run some clock. I mean, he just tried to go for one in the end zone through an interception, but maybe you kind of hide some stuff from people that might be watching you right now.
I think as a gamer, as a player right now, you've got to know that everybody that potentially could be your competition is watching your every move. They're currently scouting what you're doing. So I think at this point when you're in such control, there's nothing wrong with going really conservative and maybe not throwing a pick to Tony Jefferson like Austin Watts just did with the no-fly zone, but good for the Goondocks as they got a pick. Tony Jefferson out of Oklahoma, strong safety. 84 is his ranking. Yeah, what do you think, Bill? I mean, you could just kind of go Team Wallace for Texas and blow everybody out of the water, or you could play it safe.
Yeah, with Team Wallace in that Texas game, you kind of knew what he was going to do, and have just who he was facing and playing, who didn't have a lot of experience. There wasn't really much to hide. I mean, you kind of know what you're going to get with Team Wallace, but you saw a very conservative first half here by no fly zone. So if you're thinking, hey, all right, I'm going to play this kid, he doesn't really do a lot. I would just say, all right, look, I'm just going to keep it real basic. Run 3 plays, run a couple minutes off the clock. You're only playing 5-minute quarters, and then get into those games on Saturday, and then you can really open some things up. But I don't know. Maybe I'm looking way too deep into this.
Coach Pollack reporting for duty with his whistle. That's 3 quarters. And the Texas Tech finalist. And a reminder, 65 Red Raiders entered, the most in this Big 12 challenge, the Madden Summer Challenge presented by Dr. Pepper Cream Soda, and our leg presented by Texas Tech Credit Union. 1 quarter to go, and we'll see if we've got a miraculous comeback. Jackson running for his life, can't get away from J.J. Watt. Salute you and all your charity work, J.J. Big time play. Problem with that for the Goondocks, the clock continues to run. Jackson breaking left, sets his feet, throws it as far as he can for Andrews, and no chance to bring that in. Houston just too good in that back end. That's Jonathan Joseph. He's got the 5th highest ranking for this defense. Again, I mentioned it. When you go from DeAndre Hopkins, who hasn't even been used this game, Bill, I want to talk to you about that in a moment. J.J. Watt, 97. Reed, 84. Joseph, 83. McKinney, 83. Merciless, 83. You finally get to Will Fuller at 82. This is a loaded defense. Look for this guy, Austin Watts, if he advances, it looks like he will, to be a dangerous competitor coming up against Kansas State. But maybe that's what we're looking at with not showing all your cards for the no-fly zone. They haven't hit B-Hop.
Yep, that's a really good point. All right, so I'm trying to figure this out. See, we're going to have to bring in the rules experts here on this. We need Craig Way, because Craig Way was trying to figure this out. I mean, he was outstanding with figuring out all the tiebreakers. But we've got 5 for sure that are in, assuming that the Goondocks that they don't get a touchdown here. Because we've got 5 for sure that are in the wild card with 32, 27, 14, 10, and 7 points. But then we have Team Grit, Boomer Sooner, and the Browns, each with 6. And we got to try to get Craig back in here because he had a great. Well, we're going to figure out how they're going to break a 3-way tie with 6 points scored. And it might be 4 if he kicks a field goal here. But if Baltimore doesn't get any more points, then we've got a 3-way tie for that 6th wild card spot.
Interesting.
Yeah. And Craig had it all figured out, and he was throwing numbers
Of
out
course
there
he did.
That's like, oh, okay, we'll figure it out later. All right, somebody's going to score more than 6 points, but well, nice play there by
that's
no fly zone
to the house. Pretty easy, wasn't it? Just over the top, little wheel route for Johnson. Fairbairn slices it right. Now I think that's every game tonight. We've seen a missed extra point, Bill.
Yeah, one game.
So we have 3s on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
33-3, no fly zone. Austin Watts is a guy that has sat behind me at Red Raider basketball games because he was the editor for the school newspaper at one point. We've shared the media room together. Grew up playing this game with his little brother Jax. You know, Jax is probably happy right now saying, I taught Big Brother everything he knows. Big stick right there by that Texan D. Said he really got interested in playing the game 6 years ago, wants to cover the NFL and the NBA. He's covered Texas Tech football And that's what makes Madden great, right, Bill? I mean, you got a guy that played maybe a little football at Sweetwater. You got an all-city football player, state 6A track discus and shot thrower in Iare Osagai. So you can play the game for real, and then when you're done and you're about to start engineering for NASA, keep playing it. Or if you're Austin Watson, you want to cover it, you can play it. Fat guys like me can play it. It's a great game.
It is. It's a lot of fun. Listen, I remember when John Madden actually did the commentary himself on these games, and they need to they need to do like a retro version. They need to bring back some of his old commentary and add it to this game because it was great, classic Madden stuff, and I mean that was
Just get
that's what I
Frank
put.
Caliendo to do it.
Well, you could, yeah, but I don't think Madden likes him though.
Oh, really? One
Yeah, I
of
don't
those
think he
deals?
appreciates it. Yeah, I don't
Like
think he appreciates it.
Coolio and Weird Al Yankovic, remember that? When Weird
Outstanding.
Al covered Gangster's Paradise
Yeah,
with Amish Paradise.
we're dating
There's
ourselves.
a jet sweep. Fuller using the directional. But sometimes when you got the momentum like No Fly Zone does, you can frustrate those defenders so much because you can juke, you can move, and all of a sudden you're faster, you're fresher, like that play right there. That's a pretty simple off right tackle play by Lamar Miller, but you see that the Houston team has worn down Baltimore. The guy that's playing for the Ravens had an eye procedure and is playing in sunglasses as we speak. We don't know how much that affected him. We'll have to ask him. But we're at the 2-minute warning of this one. All no-fly zone.
And we're still hoping that Craig Wade jumps out here to explain how we're going to do this tiebreaker. Although I did like Toby Rowland's suggestion from the other night that we just have Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby pick the wild card tiebreaker.
I think he's got enough on his plate. Big blitz and a sack. That guy right there can really go. Judon with the sack. That's Matthew Judon, outside linebacker, 81 overall in this game. Fairbairn splits the uprights, 36-3. Now, what was the previous high, Bill? Because Team Wallace obviously took it with 78. But what was the previous high? 43?
Pokes 2020 from the Oklahoma State Championship had 43, and then Joystick Jables from Iowa State had 33. So this is the third highest scoring output.
Against a good defense.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just got this text from our first game of the night, the West Virginia final. Drew Casa, who had the Chiefs, he was Drew House 44, sent me a text. He said, Mr. Pollock, this is Drew Casa from West Virginia. Just wanted to reach out and thank you for calling the game today. That was really cool. Hey, thanks a lot, Drew. Actually, Tony and you, you guys are the stars of this. I was just kind of tagging along. It's been fun watching you guys. Out of your element, but in your element at the same time. It's remarkable the job that you guys have done, all 10 of you, play-by-play artists. That's what I call you. It's just what you guys did, picking this up and just dead on the money with your calls. It's really been fun watching and listening to you guys.
Jonathan Joseph may have the exclamation point. Can he outrun Lamar? Yes. House call. The barn door is open. He found the chickens. Touchdown for the Texans. That's going to close things up here for No Fly Zone. Austin Watts, 23 years old, won a game 35-14, 14-10, 28-27 over the Packers, 27-20 over the Cowboys, was down by 2 scores in the first half twice. He survives all of that and gets to the championship game and may have saved his best performance for tonight, as he will be the Texas Tech champion. He is going to win $250 in a Visa card, as that ball gets knocked down, looking for Willie Snead over the middle from Texas Tech Credit Union. Thank you so much for them sponsoring as we tour this Madden Summer Challenge presented by Dr. Pepper Cream Soda. Sounds good right about now, as this one is all but over. And just 3 points for the man from Brandeis High School in San Antonio, Iare Osaigai. Maybe he's thinking last second touchdown. Got to get the snap. With time.
He needs it for the wild card.
Tipped away, and that will do it. No fly zone indeed, as it was impossible to pass against this loaded Texan defense. Deshaun Watson, Lamar Miller, too much. We did not see hardly any targeting. I believe just one target for DeAndre Hopkins, who's ranked with 4 other guys, just 4, in this version of Madden with a 99 ranking.
So maybe he had some strategy and maybe he wasn't showing us everything. So, keeping Hopkins out of it. So we'll see what happens. No fly zone, maybe thinking ahead for Saturday. So we went through all 10 games. We've got the field set. We're going to work out the details for the tiebreaker for the 6 wild cards. But really, a lot of talent up and down from all 10 of the Big 12 schools and the championships that we saw over the last 3 nights. It'd be tough to pick, an odds-on favorite at this point because I watch one game, it's like, oh man, that kid's really good. Next game, oh boy, he's really good. So it's going to be an exciting weekend, and it all starts up on Saturday. Jeff, thoughts from you?
Well, Team Wallace for Texas concerns me for the rest of the Big 12 field. Now, I know he played NC Horns, who I'll tell you this. I could take NC Horns. If you're watching me, NC Horns, I could take you down. No doubt. But Team Wallace would also hang about 60 on me. So he concerns me. Texas Tech will advance to play the Kansas State champion. I really like what Austin Watts has here. When we talked to him, Bill, we heard a detailed strategy and one that made a lot of sense. A guy that will kind of toy around at times in the first half, see what the other guy's doing. And then even if he's behind, don't panic, and then come out and do it in the second half. He jumped out early here and just was too much for our man, who we hope heals quickly, had a right eye again procedure this morning.
Yeah, yep. Hope you recover well. The one thing that I've picked up in talking with these kids in the pregame stuff is they all kind of say the same thing. They like to try to feel out, see what their opponent is doing, see what the defense is doing. But they all have different ways that they attack, and they all have different playbooks, or they all have different formations. Sometimes you switch a playbook with a team. So that part has been pretty interesting for me, just kind of seeing how they dissect their own team and how they kind of go about it. But it's all kind of the same thing. Feel them out, see what they're doing, and then I'll make my adjustments, call my audibles, make my substitutions. So, it's pretty interesting what these kids can come up with. It's impressive to watch. It's been fun the last 3 nights for me.
Well, and if Austin Watts can continue to make Deshaun Watson look like Warren Moon, the rest of the field might be in trouble because he did.
Yeah.
He never rushed anything. When he did his rollouts, he was able to stop, throw it over the middle. We saw a lot of good hit stick action. One thing that the Goondogs couldn't get going was Marquise Brown. We didn't see any of Marquise Brown. He said that's his fastest receiver. Those guys that I mentioned, Reed, Joseph, McKinney, Merciless, they just locked all those options down. And then Ingram becomes not as good. This is a guy that's not breakaway speed, a track star. He's more of a punishing running back. And if you can bring all those guys into the box, you neutralize them.
Yeah. Hey, so Craig Way, he texted me. Let me read this text here as we try to figure out. Now, this is unofficial.
Craig Way.
I know it's an election year. I don't want to give early projection. I don't want to project the winner. I just want to say what Craig Way has come up with. I see him, kind of like with his little dry erase board and trying to, figure out math. So he says, by my counts, the number 6 wildcard spot goes to the K-State guy who lost his game 9-6. That was the smallest margin of defeat by any of the 3 guys who scored 6 points. and that would be Team Grit. So just hold on. We got to hold on. That's what Craig Way is saying, and that's what we had kind of been discussed. So I think we need to have a big conference call. I think we need to get Mainline in on this. If we need to bring people in from Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda, we'll do that. Get Commissioner Bowlesby on the phone. Whatever we got to do, we'll figure it out. But unofficial results right now. So Team Grit from K-State may be that sixth and final wild card. So we'll see what happens. We'll get all that stuff worked out. So yeah, we just
Don't you love brackets?
Oh yeah.
I love brackets. And then usually we get our brackets busted in March, right? And the Red Raiders have been known to bust a few brackets when they get out on the court. But everything got busted up that day that Craig and I were on our pregame show, and the Big 12 tournament got canceled. So this is the first time I put my headset on since then. I got to let you and everybody know, Bill, I shaved today. I shaved just for you. So you see this? This was just for you. First time really since March that I've shaved my face. So just letting you know.
Kidding.
I mean, you're a little more ragged there. That's okay. A little more manly.
No, ragged's probably right. Well, that's what you cleaned up for us. That's great. That's outstanding. That's perfect. So, all right. Jeff Haxton. Yeah. Beautiful job. Thanks to everyone at Mainline for putting this together for us. Thanks to our sponsors. And coming up on Saturday now, we move into the bracket. These kids are out of their school championships, moving on, and we'll wrap things up for the night. I've been your host, Bill Pollock. It's been a lot of fun for me. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you again soon.